I'm live. Okay, perfect. I'm going to lower my desk. Just going to intro here. Don't have guests probably for a little bit, but just wanted to say thank you, everybody. We're here. I got to check the comment situation. Okay, we're there. We're good. We're locked in. Today's the release of Mercy, Ills of Fate. And I'm already seeing pictures out there of people getting their hardcovers. We are not signing anything today. I don't have anything special to do while I'm streaming other than chat with folks who stop by at any point, which they may or may not. Who knows? Might just be me talking to a wall the whole time, which is also fun. But yeah, I'm super grateful today. We had a crazy month of March. We gave away a bunch of ARCs. We have to give away more ARCs. I will be doing a bundle signed hardcover and just a regular signed hardcover of Ills of Fate this week as preparation. So I wanted to let you guys know that. There's some announcements related to launch editions that I will have for Mercy, the first two books in the series so far. And so today's really just a celebration of all that. Sarge 300, thank you. Doing it a second time, it has been, actually, let's just get our boy on stage, Mr. Jake from Nerd Level. Dude, thanks for stopping in. Ace. Dude, that post was the first post I saw this morning on Instagram.
Oh, yeah? That's cool.
You made a post about my book before I made a post about my book.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's crazy? And then I went back and realized I didn't even like it. Didn't even like it.
What's funny is, like, I think that's actually, like, one of the better looking pictures I've taken for my Instagram. Like, the colors pop so nicely.
The purple lights, man, that with the red. Thank you, Rescue Rod. Appreciate it. But yeah, dude, you being an early adopter of Mercy, and we could talk about us being friends first initially when you made your channel, and I think you commented on something I made, and then I found your channel, and then I told you that I don't know what it was, but there was like your videos weren't popping up or something, but I was still somehow watching them.
Yeah. What did I do wrong? I did something with it was like unlisted, but it wasn't. I don't know what I screwed up.
Whatever it was. I'm so happy that I found your channel. I like don't have a ton of time to watch videos this last month. Yeah, so I tune into yours, tune into Talking Story when I can. Those have been the two primary ones that I watch. Try to watch the weekly updates. And then Tom Orange, obviously, mostly because of the sneaker incident at the Sun Eater Gala. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm just so grateful that you posted about Mercy, obviously, and you chat about it, and that you read the first book, and so on and so forth. And I'm sorry that I took so long to read Of Empires and Dust.
It's a big book. Well, I'll echo that, dude. I'm very glad that I met you on here. I mean, you're definitely one of the best friends that I've made on here. I feel very confident saying that, and you're the man, and your book was great, and I'm excited to read book 2. The only reason I haven't already jumped into it is because I have all this dumb, useless PhD stuff.
You're good, dude. You're good. How is that going, by the way? How is the rest of the PhD been?
Yeah. If I could share my screen right now, it would be so chaotic. I have on my monitor, so like on this monitor is what's called R, which is like for stats and coding and stuff.
Okay.
And then over on this side, I have like 5 or 6 internet windows with various things, and then my like full manuscript that is the size of a novelette at this point.
This is your what's it called, right?
Dissertation.
Dissertation. Yeah. Okay, I should know that word.
It's 99 pages long in a Word document. A lot of it's like figures and stuff too, but like.
No, yeah.
So it's long. I got some little notes for myself, so I got a lot. It's going good. It's like it's fun is the good thing,
right?
But it is a lot. So I'm excited to be done. Right now, it's like I have a full draft of the dissertation like paper done. I'm doing a couple little tweaks here and there. It's nothing big. It's just some little tweaks, and am waiting for revisions from my advisor, and then from there we go back and forth.
Okay.
So if you want to be very technical, it is on autoregulation in resistance training, whether or not that's better for muscle growth. So you could think of it as like listening to your body versus just always doing the same program is basically the idea. But this is not about me today. This is about Chance.
No, but actually, now that you just mentioned auto-regulation, maybe I'll call you about it because that's auto-regulation has been my training method for quite a bit. I actually do Train Heroic Vernon Griffith's program that and I don't know if I think I talked to this about with you last year when we were at ICFA. But I saw Mike did a workout with them, which was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
It's just being athletic or trying to be.
Yeah, probably didn't go very well.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a cool video to watch. But yeah, thank you, EJ. I appreciate it, man. I know it's about the release day and so on. We haven't had a chance really to talk about maybe non-spoiler. Actually, you read Earth of the New Sun. And we can relate this because Gene Wolfe is one of my when I read Gene Wolfe, the first 2 books of the New Sun, the Book of the New Sun, when I was writing both books, actually, the first and the second. And so Gene Wolfe, I think, in some ways, sniffed his way probably into my writing at some point, I'm sure. How did you? I watched your video on your thoughts of Earth of the New Sun, but as far as necessary to the experience of Gene Wolfe and the Book of the New Sun as a whole, where do you think Earth of the New Sun sits?
Honestly, I've been thinking about this a lot, right? Like, I think that there are some people that are like purists out there that are like, no, it makes it too easy, and like you should just read the 4 books and all of it's there in the 4 books. And I get what they're saying. But at the same time, I think Earth it's not just making things more clear. It's also doing new things, right? Okay. It also expands. Have you read Earth?
No, I haven't read Earth yet.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking because I've been meaning to read it since I finished Book of the New Sun, like what, 2 years ago, year and a half ago. And I just haven't gotten to it.
I would absolutely read it. I don't know if it's my favorite book of the 5, but like it might be. It's really, it does some crazy stuff with, it's like, it has some really cool, just like sci-fi stuff.
Okay.
And then it also has, especially the back half of it, you get into like just some really cool like writing techniques, right? Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but like, it's just stuff that I haven't seen before that I'm like, how did you come up with the words to describe this thing?
Okay.
It's wild. It's really cool.
So I guess it's sort of what he did. I don't know which one it was. I think it was Sword and Citadel with not the Commonwealth, because I'm thinking of Sun Eater, but like that equivalent. That's in Book of the New Sun.
Askians.
Yes, and how they like tell everything through.
Yeah,
he tells the whole story through the only select words that he can use. That blew my mind. Yeah. I think I really like that story was just so, there was just something so endearing about the prose that Gene Wolfe had, and just like it kept you wanting more. And the actual journey that Severian was going on was so appealing for some strange reason, just because it was so bizarre. It felt like a fever dream.
Yeah,
really. And then you get to that place in the story, and it's just like, it blows your mind, the capability that he had to produce something like that. So
yeah,
I was intent on reading Earth of the New Sun. I have the Wizard Knight that I was intent also on reading with Samwise. And so, I'm like debating which one to do first. What's going on, Preacher? You have the invite to this as well, but I'm sure you're busy because it's not 9 p.m., which is when me and Jake end up going to bed, which is actually kind of funny if we think about it. What's going on, Omar? How you doing? I didn't do a signed hardcover run of Mercy Ills the Fate, like a pre-order like I did for book 1. And so I guess while you're here, Jake, I'll mention that I am currently collaborating with, because I haven't said this anywhere. I've just been like alluding to it and people have figured it out. Like I messaged them. But I am doing a Broken Binding special launch edition that will be signed. They will be hardcovers. There won't be any dust jackets. It'll just be new Andrew Molesky artwork, full color illustration interior, gold foil typography. So I want to announce that sort of at the beginning of this stream, and just like if people are watching it back and they turn it off at whatever we are at 10 minutes, at least they get that.
Awesome, dude.
Abel is still doing the formatting. He's still doing all of that. And so we're getting that all put together. while also acknowledging that he has his own book release of The Sunrise Dagger at the end of this month. So he's like, this guy's been so hard at work, and I've made so many mistakes that he has had to go and correct. And Abel is like seriously such a legend. If you guys are watching this stream either now or later, go follow Abel Montero, the Abel Montero. Abel Montero, I think it's like Books with Abel on YouTube. He is just an absolute legend and an author in his own right. Oh, you're at the gym. Okay, trying to be as big as Tom Orange. Well, that's not going to happen.
Good luck.
So unless you auto-regulate. That's a callback in the biz. Yeah. Of Empires and Dust, man. Yeah, that ending really screwed me up. I was gonna have to wait until you've done. I mean, Ills of Fate is a much shorter read. I think it's like half, probably more than half the amount of words, or less than half the amount of words. That ending of Empires and Dust, because I was texting you while I was reading it, and there was, I think, a point from like the 80 to 85%, or like 70 to 85% for me in that book. I was like along for the ride, but it was hard for me to like. It didn't like the book had the series has its hooks in me. Like I'm in, so I'm not gonna not turn a page. I'm not gonna put it down. But that part was definitely felt like a lull, and I think that was more due to me. I had texted you about a specific character that just like popped in my brain. Then of course, like the next day he shows up.
Yeah.
But the emotional note at the end there really crushed me. Let's get Mr. Shelf Esteem himself, Nikhil, in the house. I know we just talked Friday, but we can't get enough of each other, I suppose. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Let's keep it going.
Thank you so much for showing up. Have you seen? I'm sure you've seen the trailer that my sister made for the
dude,
series.
it was amazing.
Yeah,
it looks so good.
Yeah. And of course, for those of you tuning in who don't know, Nikhil is a composer, professional. And we commissioned him for Mercy, for a soundtrack, for a theme, and he produced the first ever like sounds, according to him, that I didn't know this until we had our conversation, Nikhil, sounds that are unique to Mercy. that was like blown away that you were able to create sounds that I hadn't particularly heard before, at least in the capacity that you produced it. So I'm just so grateful that you took the project on so seriously. You read both books early, and you read the second book early, and you really brought your heart into it. And so just really quickly, for those watching, tuning in, Nikhil, thank you. Just want to say
pleasure's all mine, man. I mean, when I read those books, like I remember the first book, I read it and I was like taken aback by like how epic and ambitious it was, like in its scale and scope. And that's like my favorite kind of fantasy. So I was like already going in with high expectations for book 2. And it blew those out of the water. So I was really excited to dive into this with you, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of my writing took hints of not knowing, ignorance. I just brought a lot of ignorance into my writing, and so no one really could tell me what not to do quite yet. So Broken Binding is coming around. We're collaborating on it. It's me taking forever, not the Broken Binding. And we're gonna slowly but surely roll those out, and then we can probably do some signed copies. The two pro gym guys telling me I can't be as big as Tom Orange. Guess you've never heard of chicken, rice, and D-bowl.
D-bowl will help for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can in that instance.
Have you guys heard this thing now that they're saying just eating meat and rice? They're calling it boy kibble.
Boy kibble.
It looks like dog food.
I have not heard that, but that actually is that makes a lot of sense. I can't believe it hasn't been called that the last 15 years. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And this the music, I listen to it when I run, Nikhil. I just want to say that.
Man.
I listen to it on my commute in the morning sometimes. I get amped still just hearing it.
That's amazing. Highest of compliments, man. No, seriously, it's like I feel like this is why I'm very excited about the book community in general. Is like it's kind of increased the immersion for all the readers, because we all get a chance to discuss books together, and then you take it a step forward and now you have book trailers, right? Like you have custom artwork for the books that are done for like special editions, and then you take it a step further, and it's like you start thinking of it almost in terms of like, what would this look like as an adaptation? What would it sound like? What would it feel like? It's kind of cool. I don't know.
Don't tease him, Nikhil. You can't get him started already.
No, I mean, really, the music itself, and then my sister tied it into the artwork the way that she did with the art direction for the video. And thank you to my sister. I don't think she's watching this. I probably should send her a link to tune in. Actually, I might. But she really just did such a fantastic job dealing with me in my direction, because Abel Montero will tell you, Robert Schroeder, I'm sure all the artists that I worked with the exception of you, Nikhil, for some reason, I think you just had. I think the difference is you read both books. And you were going into music, which I have honestly no idea, with the exception of being like, hey, I like this sound. Loud boom, I like. So for me, I mean, the amount of direction that I had was more just taking in what you were giving me and just glowing about it because it was so beautiful. But a lot of the people that I've art directed with, I tend to get a very specific. This again, I think this speaks to just everybody is immensely talented, obviously, but my ability to communicate is just so poor, I think, in a lot of ways, when it comes to art, because I can't draw. I don't have that capability. I'm not that artistic in that style. But yeah, no, my sister did such a killer job, and then tying that into the music that you provided and created and put your heart into, that when the song goes into that epic drop into that chorus, and you see Harglon facing, or I shouldn't have said that. You see Dragon Scaly back character facing into a Coliseum. I was like, oh, I just got amped up. And then that ties into the whole concept of an adaptation. And when the vision that you created for me, I so vividly see this thing as something that is film TV for me, just because it's how I create. And maybe that is partly why my descriptions sometimes, especially in the first book, are less detailed and less specific in some instances, because I like to leave the imagination up to the reader, and also because it's so already in my head. And my ability to communicate that, I think, in book one, I think I've gotten better at that as I got into book two. I think thanks to the direction of editors. But adaptation is something that I definitely am going to try my best to pursue. And I know we talked briefly about it, but it's something that I strongly desire. I know that that's not the intention of creating novels. The story exists as a novel, yes. Also, I have just such a love for cinema. I really do. And music is such a big part of why. Sound and the emotional response that can be provoked from a song or a sound or a chorus or a band or whatever it may be is Duel of the Fates. When I was, I don't know, 7 years old, like, are you kidding me? John Williams, I lost my freaking mind when I listened to Duel of Fates. So that's like just, I think, the very first time. And then obviously Howard Shore and Lord of the Rings. Those are the first times that really tied music into storytelling for me. The story so far. Nikhil, I don't think the edition you read had the story so far in it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I always loved the story so far when it does appear. You know?
Yeah. I was like, oh shoot, like, at the time that I had given it to you, I don't think I'd written it yet, and we were still working through that second round of edits with Dave. I finished the second round of edits with Dave Butler, and I was like, I probably should put a story so far section in here, and so I did. But yes, I know that you need one, Preacher, specifically. I don't want to tie Cormac McCarthy's language into my story. I feel like they're two completely different prose levels. Cormac is very good, and also no quotes. Right, it's a thing. What's going on, Zamar? Jake, you've read Riven Earth or no?
No, I have less than 100 pages left in book one. I'm slowly chipping away at it.
I'll be so curious to see what you think of the rest of the duology. There's some really cool things that I think you'll like in Sundered Moon,
nice.
Related to your love for Malazan in one way or another. And when I did a live stream with Zamar and Alex, and we talked about it with spoilers, so I don't want to say it, although I said that he should say it because it's like absolutely awesome that it's in his books. And so I don't want to say it, although I have said it before in non-spoiler sections. It's just like, I know it's so, now I'm being so vague. You know what? There's dinosaurs. Said it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody should read Zamar's books. Let's just say that. I know it's like this epic. I'm sorry, Zamar, don't beat me up. But your books need to be read by more people for sure. His writing is, I mean, you're talking about polished prose. I mean, the guy is absolute, like it's so actually it's so intricate and masterful. He did a video breaking down, I think, some of Brandon Sanderson stuff like a while ago. I think when Wind and Truth came out. And his, I honestly, he's qualified. It's so qualified to speak.
That was a great video.
That was a great video.
Get it back to Mercy. Oh, sorry. Oh, the Anywhere's pros bleed into your. Oh, right. You didn't like Preacher did not like, or no, sorry, he gave it a 3.5 stars. Project Hail Mary. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean he didn't like it. That means he thought it was good, but there was things that he, I think that there was room for improvement there. Which I think also is Tears of the Fallen is the same category for you, Preacher, which I'm okay. It's good. I mean, I know that you like it enough to read book 2. That's good for me. I actually haven't read any Andy Weir. I feel kind of behind in that capacity.
Have you guys seen the film adaptation?
I have. Have you actually, Nikhil? I feel like you're gonna. I would love to hear what you think about Greg Fraser's cinematography and the sound of the film.
Linda and I went on Sunday, and we were just so impressed with like the score was great. I feel like Ryan Gosling did a great job in that role, which I didn't expect. Honestly, I went in with like tempered expectations. I didn't really know what to expect, but I thought he did a great job. And also, it kind of reminded me of like, and I think the book does this to some extent as well, but it kind of reminded me of like the optimism of 90s movies, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
You know,
less doom and gloom.
Yeah, like it's a lot more optimistic. It's a lot more funny. There's some great like jokes that land really well, and it's like heartfelt and poignant. I felt like it's very rare these days that you walk out of like a sci-fi movie feeling like, the world is really great, you know?
That's so true. It's all like sci-fi horror now, right?
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
That's the world is really great. That's awesome. The movie was ass.
Yeah.
What's the general premise of this movie? I don't know like anything about it or the book or whatever.
Is it better to not know?
The less you know, the better. I guess you could just say like, well, I'll just say one thing is like, guy wakes up on a spaceship with amnesia.
Okay.
And I'll just leave it there. That's like that's like as vague as I could get while still being hooky, I guess.
That is very hooky. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy. Yeah. I guess that's and Ryan Gosling I actually do like a lot. La La Land landed for me. Obviously Crazy Stupid Love. I know these are all like cheesy, maybe popcorn movies, but I really love those movies.
You missed The Notebook, bro.
The Notebook, obviously. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right. Go watch The Notebook.
Of course, The Notebook was great. I just saw an interview with him and Margot Robbie, and everyone told him that I think the interviewer told him that the number one movie people cry to is The Notebook, and he was just like, "Really?" He's just like surprised. That's pretty crazy to me. To me and Marley and me.
Oh, that's surprising.
I don't know why that's surprising to him. Yeah, it blows my mind. It pays off the less you know. Okay, got it. Okay. Dub, hopefully referring to Project Hail Mary. Just know in the book you spend 400 pages in the head of a corny science teacher who refuses to curse and thinks the proper response to the highest stakes is bad millennial humor. Well, I don't think there's such thing as bad millennial humor. Maybe I'm biased. Yeah. He's getting into Star. I have to read the Star Wars books actually. Now that came up for some reason.
They're fun.
Plot relationships save it. Okay, in the book, you're saying. Okay, that makes sense. I really do want to see that movie though. Greg Fraser, I think, is one of my. I think he's like the best in the game, right? At cinematography. He did his resume is actually crazy. The guy that did Project Hail Mary is like cinematography. He did Dune, the first two Dune movies. I don't think he did the third one. I think they got the guy that did, or the person that did La La Land, which is actually kind of interesting. If that'll be interesting to see the third Dune movie. That trailer for the third Dune movie, you guys, I mean, I feel bad getting amped up watching, like knowing just what the Dune universe is about. I'm like, I'm still amped though. It just Hans Zimmer.
You don't like genocide, James?
Yeah, no, I mean it's like it's really hard. It's like I feel really guilty getting amped up about Timothy Chalamet screaming at at the Fremen, getting him hyped up to go and destroy the universe. But
Messiah is my favorite Dune book. I can't wait to see what they do with it.
You know what? I think I'm on board with you there.
How far did you both get in the Dune books?
I've done all of them. Well, I did the 6 Herbert ones. I haven't read the Brian stuff, 'cause
I just did up to is it Children of Dune, right? Is that it?
Yeah. You gotta at least do God Emperor though.
I haven't done God Emperor yet, but I am intent on it. They just came out with those new deluxe editions. Oh my gosh. Matt Griffin, I think, is the name
Yeah.
of the artist that does the deluxe hardcovers.
Yeah.
I follow him on Instagram. He's somebody who oh my God, if I can get him to do my covers eventually at some
You're
point.
saying the colored covers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hardcover,
Those
like
are awesome.
the deluxe editions.
I have the-
zero green screens. Wait, there is no green screens in Project Hail Mary? That's insane.
Did they film it in outer space?
Yeah, what? I don't know if I believe that. Drive was a good movie. I'm just can't wait to read Ills of Fate. Thank you, Lone Star. Ah, yes. I appreciate that. Yes. Dune on the TBR. First Dune, yeah. Dune books earns all the praise.
Yeah. I've been going down a rabbit hole of what is the name of his channel? Is it called Quinn's Ideas now? It used to be Ideas of Ice and Fire or something. Quinn is his name. He's got like almost 1 million subs or whatever. He does tons of like super deep dive Dune videos, and they're so well done. It's awesome.
Oh, really? Is it like the equivalent for the Book of the New Sun? Was it Death Media Cult?
That's one of the best YouTube videos I've ever seen. That was so
yeah. I
honestly, they might. It's different. It doesn't have as much of like him walking around out in the world, and you don't see him on camera that much.
Okay.
But it just it's so good. Yeah, Quinn's Ideas. Dude,
you actually have several videos of like Wars of Light and Shadow, Malazan, like your series deep dives. I find I really enjoy Sun Eater. The Wars of Light and Shadow one's one I'm intent on watching before. Do you think I should watch your Wars of Light and Shadow video before I get into the series?
You can. They're spoiler free.
Okay. And it's my understanding that it is very complex compared to, you've read both Malazan and now you're up to book 7 and Wars of Light and Shadow. Nikhil, you're also reading Wars of Light and Shadow, correct?
Yeah, I'm just restarting book 4 actually, because I read like 100 pages of it and then I put it down for like a buddy read, and so now I'm gonna pick it up in April and finish that one off.
Okay. I think I'm gonna get to Curse of the Mistwraith this year. I know it's at the end of, I know it's April, but my intent is to get to Curse of the Mistwraith. I actually I did start Throne of Glass today. I read 1 chapter before hopping on here. I'm giving it a go. I think I have to read some Sarah J. Maas, and I need something that is digestible before as I'm finishing up. That's Crippled God right back there. I'm over halfway through Crippled God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And all the Malazan books, like they get their hooks in you at some point. This one has got its hooks in me. I think the last time I felt this way, I think for 3, 4, and 5, and 6, I felt like, okay, like I'm catching everything. Even though 4 and 5, I think we're so far removed from 5, definitely removed from 1, 2, and 3. 6, it was just like there's back to that familiarity. 10, it's like everything's sort of clicking. It's very like early, which for a Malazan book for me is rare.
Yeah.
I think that there's some people who it clicks throughout the series. Some people it doesn't click at all. For me, it eventually clicks. So that's like the faith I go into reading those books. And it gets me really excited to go back and reread, knowing all the tie-ins to theme, all of those one-liners on the backs of these Broken Binding special editions, and seeing how the Crippled God takes those concepts and just 10x.
Yep.
It's kind of, I just got past a really like emotional part. I'm not going to say what, but my God, where are you in your Malazan journey, Nikhil?
I am in the middle of book 4 actually.
Okay. House of Chains.
Yeah, House of Chains.
Yeah.
I love that book.
I was going to say, how are you liking it so far?
Honestly, one of my favorite first thirds of a of a Malazan book. I was just like so taken by that character, and I was like, I'm fully invested.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's, I think Tom didn't like House of Chains. Tom Orange. I loved it. I mean, obviously it's like you have this very sort of gross character in the very beginning, and then you sort of like learn the way of life of this culture, and you're just like, okay, like he literally knew nothing else. Doesn't make it okay, but I don't know. It's just like, just the way that character evolves throughout the series as well, beyond the fourth book, and just the badass things that he's able to pull off in the face of complete adversity is insane.
I still will occasionally find myself thinking just like Witness. I'll just think that every day. So epic. Yeah.
How different is Gardens of the Moon from everything after? Is it a huge escalation? I don't know how you escalate from something like the Siege of Pale, but they managed to do that. Steven Erikson manages to pull it off.
Yeah.
I would say that emotionally, the tie-in escalates a lot. Like your emotional investment drastically improves as the series goes on. I don't think I had much of an emotional investment after the first book at all, actually.
I didn't until like book 6, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I found it at the very end of Dead House Gates, and then through Memories of Ice. There were just constant moments. Memories of Ice is just like moment after emotional moment for me, where I was just like, damn, like I might not like be invested in these characters in particular, but the things that they're going through and just seeing how they deal with it. And then, by the way, I guess now in hindsight, it's like knowing the implications of those things and how important what happens is. It blows my mind just how Steven Erikson as a storyteller is just like, he takes everything up to infinity somehow. That I think, Jake, when the series finishes out from Broken Binding, you said you're going to go back and reread.
That's the plan.
All right. I think that's something I need to do. First and second read through are completely different experiences. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
I kind of got a very, very mini version of that because I had read the first 2 books and a little bit of the third like 5 years ago. And I was like, earlier in my fantasy journey, it just wasn't clicking with me. So I set it down. Then I retried it, started from book 1. And I got so much more out of, like, from the beginning of book 1, I was actually fully invested again. So it was, and that was like not even reading that much of the series yet, you know?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
The Siege of Pale didn't register for me the first time I read it because I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
in the face.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so mad that it didn't, because I would go back and read passages and it still didn't click in my head. I'm like, okay, I still don't really get what's happening here. But it's like, it's so massive. It's the scale of what you're shown at this point of the story when you've like literally met, I don't know, like 4% of the characters of the entire universe. I just finished a book about a lady whose kid got eaten by an alligator and you never leave her house. Multi-POV, kingdom spanning massiveness. Yes, Preacher, I will say, returning, I know that it's a stream about Mercy, so I keep veering off, but Ill is the Fate has a lot more of, I think the first between the somewhere in the middle, like 30% is based on what you've told me. There are things that you may not particularly enjoy. And I just know that going into that, Preacher, because I don't know how much you like military fantasy, or I know that you're not crazy about military fantasy. That said, you're a moments reader, and all of the stuff that I think you're not going to like, I think there are infinitely more things and moments that you will like in this one. And no pressure. If you don't like it, just tell me. I think you guys know that you can do that at this point. Or maybe don't, just no kidding. No, tell me. But yeah, no, I think I just want to prepare you. I don't know what Jay has told you so far, but there's definitely yes. Yeah, sorry to interrupt myself. Craig, I do sleep with my cover every night. I also have, so this is the ARC copy. This is the 6x9 ARC copy. This is not the paperbacks that exist. This is a proof copy of the paperbacks, the 5x8. And it is, we have Esme's blurb on the cover there, which you can't see, but she said this: Sandra Lynch has nothing on a Dylan Deluge.
I saw that.
And I was like, I feel like she's definitely kind, but if you read the whole review, obviously, like I think her opinions are, I think her opinions are unbiased, because
she does a great job.
She does provide such like valid criticism in all of her reviews, and I can acknowledge those things about my own story, and like a lot of it is like, some of it I'm like, yeah, that's intentional. Obviously we have some things go down, and there's really just no time to, and this happens in life too, where we have no time to really sit with these things sometimes. That said, obviously there's intent on letting characters sit with things in the future, but her reviews are just freaking so awesome. And then obviously I'm biased to her glowing stuff. I'm like, okay, let's just try and think of the nice things, and all of it really is nice, really. But the quote she had, and then a reference to Sun Eater, I was like, I don't think I expected that from any review, and it makes sense. I mean, I was again reading Sun Eater as well, like during my writing, and she talks about the cosmic level of. I don't have the review up. Like, just kidding. Yes, I do. No, but she said something about the cosmic. There's a cosmic level of X, Y, or Z, and relating it to Sun Eater. And then in her post on Instagram, she even says, if you like Sun Eater, amongst Malazan, Elden Ring, Joe Abercrombie, so on and so forth, that Mercy is for that reader, and that blew me away. I mean, there's just Esme in the reading community is incredible. There's so many people inside of the reading community as well, in the reviewing community, readers, and obviously you guys as well. It's so fantastic just to see the support and the love, and of course I'm hoping that it comes from a place of just genuinity, and I feel like it does. Of course, I believe that. Characters got to keep me hooked in unless it's a huge moment, set pieces. Okay, yeah. I think Ill as a Fate will keep its jaws on you, latched on you. Trying to figure out what I love about fantasy. I'm loving the Trouble with Peace, but the original First Law was better for me, and I think it's all down to Logan. Nine Fingers. Yeah.
Great character. Yeah.
About the most emotional moment I had in a Joe Abercrombie book is in the third book. I can't say who the character is because I don't want to spoil it. Have you guys both read the First Law, the first trilogy?
Yeah.
Okay. The end of Last Argument of Kings. That's the third book, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're
in a place. That's so vague.
People in a place doing a thing.
Well, Logan, shoot. How do I say this? There's a character that there's not much for words in the first three books of the First Law. Maybe says a word here or there. And I can't, but there's a moment that he has at the end of that third book that just struck me like a pickup, like a semi truck. And actually, like, I can probably pull up the book now and start reading the section that scene happens and still get an emotional response. Yeah. Simply and just opening to it, like not even having all the context, just like knowing the context of that moment and just how deep it is. It just struck me. How many POVs is Mercy? Still haven't read book 1. It's on the Kindle. Might close some other books to get going. There are 7 or 8 primary perspectives in the first book, with 3 to 5 other perspectives that are like drop-ins for context. I think that's the best way I can explain it. Definitely multi-POV. The focus, there obviously is character focus within each perspective, but I think the narrative focus, the narrative through line is something that I focused on in my writing, especially for the first book. In the second book, we expand on that a little bit, though I don't veer too much further. We do get some more new perspectives for sure, but I would say, like, quantity wise, it doesn't go up too much as far as primary perspectives. I think you're still in that like 7 to 9 range. And again, there's loose tie-ins with everything to try and connect each POV, even though you have, the way that I structured it is you have either 2 or 3 different places the characters are. And then in those, I like to give what's going on I give multiple POVs in those areas so you can sort of see through different eyes what things look like. In book 3, I think I'm going to stick to that, like 2 or 3. And there'll be 3 particular things going on, and then you'll have multiple perspectives branching inside of those perspectives. And that's really how I approached the scene design, which I think when I read Steven Erikson, I get a lot of that. I get a lot of, like, you're in different places, you get a lot of different perspectives. And I was like, this form of narrative is I think what I like the most. I actually didn't even read that. There's no Logan for me in the second trilogy. My favorite character is relegated to secondary status by book 2. Oh, okay. And that's the Age of Madness, I think he's referring to.
You guys, unfortunately, I need to head out.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to stop by at least and hang with you guys for a bit. And congratulations, Chance.
Thanks so much
on
Nikhil.
release
Super
day.
Grateful.
It's awesome. So excited for everyone to fall in love with it like me.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, and thank you again for the composition. For those who have not, go over to Shelf Esteem. We are our collaborators on that video. Envy the Faithful is the composition, It's beautiful. It's harrowing and epic.
Thanks so much, man. Thanks for having me along for the journey. It's awesome.
Thank you for being
Good
on
to
board.
see you, Jake.
Good to see you, man.
Always. Yeah.
talk again soon.
Absolutely. Sounds good, man. Bye, guys.
Later, Nikhil. And Jake, if you have to step out, man, I know you got your PhD. I want to give you the go. Okay.
You only released your second book once, man.
No, you're right. That is true. Okay, we got a bunch of comments here. Let's run through them. Picked up on with gardens. Okay, like the different scenes and different POVs.
Yeah, I do really appreciate that. Also, it's fun. You learn so much about the characters too, with how different people will react to the same thing happening.
Yeah, and I mean Erickson, I'm sure you've listened to his interviews talk about how that and actually I'm seeing this with Crippled God, almost like he almost not breaks the fourth wall, but he even mentions it, like seeing things through the eyes of another person and what that means inside of a narrative, inside of a story, generally, and those different perspectives can greatly change what we as a reader experience of what's happening in the world. And I think it's just a cool thing to play with.
For sure. Perspective is such a central theme of the series also, right? Like, it's one of those, like, there's layers of how he does this stuff in the book. It's just,
witnessing or lack thereof. Oh man, that was epic. I'm not even there yet, but like the dimension of it just gets me amped up. Alvis and Irving really gave me that first law character connection. Yes. I really wanted, and it's actually kind of funny because for those two characters in particular, first law to me, I feel like every perspective, there's some semblance of humor that's tied in. And Joe Abercrombie's like a master of it. He figures out how to make things funny and like give different senses of humors to his characters. Let's quickly say hi to Mr. John. They have a hardcover release, J.A.J. Minton of Discovery. That also has happened. They're signed. They're over on their website. Oh, put it in the comments, John. Put your website in the comments if you can legally do that on YouTube. I'm not sure if you can.
JAJminton.com.
JAJminton.com. Okay, perfect.
Is it board art, right? The new artwork is really cool.
Yes. Oh, so cool. I'm going to get that. And then when book 2 comes out, I'm intent on listening to the audiobook that we have for Discovery, because just knowing that there's 7 different narrators has me super amped up. Trying to go for that with your project too. Okay. About locations and POVs. Yes. I think that's to me, I think that's like sort of that cinematic tie-in. And I think Steven Erikson with Gardens, they had turned a screenplay into a novel. And so I think that's sort of where that came from. And then it evolved into, the rest of the series. And my love for movies, I think also it ended up being that way. John. Yes. Talking stories in the house. Oh, okay. Heck yeah. Gotta get my hardcover. Yeah, you could just text me, John. And you too, Jake.
For real?
Yeah, if you want, I'll figure it out.
Sick. Yeah.
I don't know how to I don't know if I have. I'm gonna probably do an order here soon because I'm doing a giveaway, and I'll say it here on stream too. I said at the beginning, but I will be doing a bundle giveaway. But I also will order whatever extras and sign them and send them to you guys because you are obviously friends, and that's that. Doesn't mean you have to like it. I want to make that clear on a live stream.
A quick question on that. You mentioned with the broken binding stuff. Did you say that's going to have new art for the hardcover there? Yeah. So
the Andrew Molesky pieces, those that I posted them on Instagram. There's 2 different pieces. There's the hate or the character with the double-sided crimson sword. That one will be book 2's hardcover. There's no dust jacket, but we are going to put just Mercy in gold foil on the front. Nice. The second volume, and then we'll do Chance Dillon, and then I think it'll just say Fate on the side, on the spine. Okay. No quote on the back. I really want the artwork to be the focus of those editions, and then the first book will be the picture of X character kneeling and getting pierced in the chest by a sword, with again Mercy, the first volume, and then it'll say Tears on the spine in gold foil with Chance Dillon and so on.
Very nice. That's cool.
Yes, that'll be the special editions, and yes, they will be through the broken binding. Again, I am the reason things are taking forever, mostly just because getting standard editions ready and formatted and getting special editions ready and formatted are just two different strategies. And then we're changing chapter headers. We're going to use Roman numerals. We're going to have different emblems for odd chapters, different emblems for even chapters. Then we're going to have a different signing page that I'm going to, I think I'm going to do a limited bundle run. It'll either be 100 or 200 bundles. I haven't quite decided yet. Honestly, that comes down, if I'm just being like transparent, it comes down to capital, like what I have access to. And that's it. Hopefully we get together again. Yes. Yes, we shall. We shall have drinks together. Get back to work, of course. Thank you, John, for stopping in. Super grateful that you did.
Appreciate it. 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Doctor. Oh, that 4 weeks.
Yeah. 28.
Man. And then you could tell me all about auto regulation because I feel like I've been doing that. Or maybe I am completely misunderstanding what that is.
No, I'm sure you're good.
It's just like lazily going about my workouts, and which is just like life, just living. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder on stage, therefore I just work out. Dr. Nerd Level Rose. Well, that's the thing is the nerd level rises. It can't be. It would have to just be masterful. You're already there.
Yeah.
The nerd level max, is that it?
Nerd maxing? Is that
nerd maxing? Nerd maxing, dude. That is what we're doing. If you really think about
nerd
it,
maxing. I'll mog everybody with my nerd max thing.
With auto regulation.
Nice. Auto regulation maxing.
Nice. Preacher, are you still working out? I need to know. And oh, you know what I sent the StreamYard link to everybody in the Discord, right?
No? Yeah.
Okay, let me send it again just in case, just to have something there. Not that people need to stop by.
Just let it be known I stopped by.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, exactly. That's really what's important here. I think Alex finished the book up on.
Oh, nice.
I think he either finished it up or is finishing it up. The last 30 or 40% people say flies, which is nice to hear. Which I guess speaks to the Dylan Deluge situation. Reverse flies. Nice. We're talking about the machine where you got your chest on the thing and you're doing the thing, or you got dumbbells. I need to know. I need to know the exact workout. Go ahead and type it out so I can do it tomorrow. Because I don't like writing my own workouts anymore.
ChatGPT will do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's so funny because like I am a personal trainer and I just like, there's so much more to being a personal trainer than just obviously programming. It's like, obviously accountability is big. Like anything technically, I guess, can write a program. It's just like, how effective is it going to be if, you don't have a coach to run you through it. Dumbbells, terrible resistance curve, cables, big dog.
Preacher's got that peak torque in the lengthened position, all this stuff.
I mean, if no one had context to our conversation and they just heard you say peak torque to the lengthened position, they might have some questions. Cables all the way for those. Got it. Cable reverse flies. Understood. That's all we do. Okay. Got it. Most chance thing is that you sent the link for the live stream, but also said nothing about what it was at that time. Hey, that is literally me. I sent an email to John, Philip, to a bunch of people that I did like a live stream with, Tori, Laura Blake. And I just sent a stream. I go, hey guys, Tuesday I'm doing my release stream. Here's the link. And then Philip emails. He goes, great. What time? And I was like, I guess that's pretty important. Peak torque is definitely in the short position. I feel that in my loins. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Mac. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Lucas. Dylan TBR has now doubled with the trailer has pushed them both way up priority rise. That is actually so cool to hear. And again, I've mentioned it earlier in the stream. My sister put together that launch trailer. Obviously the music was done by Nikhil. But I gave her a lot of free reign. I said, here's your artwork. Here's some things that I want mentioned, but she really went out and like did it. And she is so helpful in the art side of I mean, the entire website is her. You know, she put it all together and structured it all. Mike
To
Israel.
watch it. I haven't seen it somehow.
Oh, it
Missed
is epic. I was gonna put it at the front end of this stream, but you need to pay for StreamYard to put an intro video on.
Really?
Apparently, I think. To make on cables with a focus on the length and position, and also that chat GPT was God.
Sounds right.
Nice. Resistance is like calisthenics, right? Lost in the spelling. No, resistance can be calisthenics. It's sort of like any applied. What you would probably have a better direct definition of this, but I'd say applied external force.
Yeah, anything where there's extra resistance being involved, hence the name.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be weights, could be body weight stuff. Whatever.
Yeah, like my quads aren't typically in a shortened position. I'm like trying to think. Like, so if you squat without any weight, that's still resistance.
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway, math.
Is right.
Make a workout out that isn't $95 a day. Okay. That you're definitely overshooting the expense there. And to me, honestly, like having been spending money every month on a program, I like what I get from that. I pay like somewhat near $55 a month, and I get something that I'm like, okay, this is like on paper, I can go and do this, or I can take things and like peel it into my own thing.
Sure.
To me, that's worth it. I know that's not easy. It's not a super easy thing to afford. Also,
there's tiers, right? Like, like Preacher, you know Macro Factor, I assume they're launching their like workout version of the app that I assume is also like $8 or $9 a month.
Oh wow!
But I bet it's great. I haven't used it, but I'm sure it's awesome.
There you go. I mean, I don't know. I think generally speaking, that sort of thing is worth an investment, especially. And this is the best argument I think I have for spending money on workout programming generally. As a trainer, also the amount of money. Think about all the money that we spend on bad habits, like including foods that are just not good for us, so on and so forth. If you took that money and put it into something that's going to, like, the goal is to make you healthier. Like, why do we short ourselves on expenses for things that are better for us?
Oh, for sure. And you think about the medical bills you're going to save when you're older because you focus on your fitness when you were younger, right? Like it's way more of a money swing than people expect.
Is your chance of special edition? I will say I don't know the margins or anything quite yet. I know what the expense will roughly be. Obviously if things don't work out, you're like, okay, yeah, then I lose. But the goal is to not. At the very least, I want to be able to provide the special editions to people at an affordable price, without losing. I'm okay being net neutral. For me, honestly, a part of me is okay losing sometimes, mostly because I just like getting them out there, and I think it's fun. And obviously, like, selfishly, I want my own special editions.
Oh yeah.
Alpha Progression. I don't know if I've heard of this one.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not.
Sounds like you're making it up, Dustin. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I use Sigma Progression.
Yeah. We're way more chill.
I use go to the gym and do something and say that was better than nothing today. That's my current programming method.
I think at least 2 days a week. That's what I get, at least. And then some days I go for a run and I feel really good about it. Okay, so in terms of I'll talk about the launch editions again for a second. I'd like to have them up by the mid-April, but I'm not sure that's going to be the case. It will likely be the end of April. And that is not by design. That is just by simply availability and access. And then, but from there, we have to go from that to printing. So it'll be like a pre-order process, similar to what we did with the signed hardcovers for book one. And then going from there. Currently using beta Nogression, focused on auto regulation. All right, dude, that feels like a personal attack. That feels like a personal attack, Dustin.
He's such a good fitness troll. I love.
Yeah,
It's so funny. I love it.
Yeah. Now, really quickly, I know that you mentioned in your previous video that you're going to be doing a top 10 soon. of
I need to
your
redo it. Yeah.
of your top 10 books, and I think those are some obviously my favorite videos to watch. It seems like Wars of Light. Are you going to finish Wars of Light and Shadow before you make that video? Is that the intent?
I'm tempted. That won't be till like November probably. At the pace that we're going for the read along. So I'm tempted to do that because I'm like, what if that becomes number one? That's a very real possibility.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm tempted to wait until then just so I don't have to redo it. Well, really, it's so that I don't have to give it the number 2 or 3 place and say like, oh, by the way, when I read the last 3 books, it might. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would say it's 2 or 3 already.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And that would is it spoiling to say what you did for your last year's top 10? Because I think I remember it was Sun Eater first.
Yeah, Sun Eater, Malazan, and then I can't remember. Like I would put Wars, Light, and Shadow right there
After or in the middle of those.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
It's
And do you,
good.
and I have to ask, do you think that's partly obviously these books are good enough at this point for you to warrant putting it up there? With your memory regarding Malazan, is being further separated from it have any? I'm sure it has some impact, obviously.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I do genuinely think when I reread it, I'll like it more.
generally, yeah.
I think that I had a weird experience with the Crippled God, especially. Like I feel like I didn't get as much of a punch from it that most people do, which I think was just a me problem. I think I just wasn't as focused on it or something. But I don't know. There's just stuff that I'm like, I think I'll just appreciate it more on the reread. So
Okay.
Sup, dude?
So Mr. Jake, this is Bromantasy. This is Devin. I don't know if you've met Bromantasy before.
Nice to meet you.
More
Nice to meet
prominent in the booktube or Bookstagram community. He brings together the love of romantic fantasy, epic fantasy, romantasy. He ties it all together, erases the stigma around romantasy, and is can I say you're followed by famous people
Sure.
in the realm of fame. He's famous.
I don't know about all that.
And fortunately, I've been fortunate to meet Devin a couple times in person, and we spent some time together. And it's just as I have with you, Jake. And yeah, I don't know. I think this is actually really cool that you guys are both here at the same time.
So Chance is far too kind, for the record. Most of that is bold-faced lies, and it's just me yelling on the internet. But it's I'll take the compliments where I can get it.
By any famous people.
No famous people follow my account at all. None at all. I do actually have one very famous follower. He just released a book today. I don't know if anybody knows about it or anything. If anybody's gone out and gotten it.
Man, look at that red, huh?
Yeah, I love it. I love my random bookmark.
Yeah, let me see. Well, that is a dope bookmark.
It is. Oh my god, is it Visual Armor? I'm gonna screw up his name and I'm gonna feel bad about it. He's a tattoo artist out of LA that does like super realistic anime tattoos.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, he's a big Berserk fan. That's how we ended up linking up.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. I ordered this like tote bag and it was like Read Berserk or something like that, and it came with stickers and shit. But
that is dope. Okay.
Yeah.
How are you? Well, in your current, and you could be as honest as you'd like to be up to I guess you're at around the 50% mark there with Ills of Fate. How are you feeling about it so far?
Good. It is. I'm trying to think of how to word it. Like your writing has come so far.
Oh,
in such a short time. So like, because anytime I always feel like it's meant very much as a compliment, but I feel like it can be taken as like a backhand compliment, which is not the case. I take that as
a compliment for sure.
I really enjoyed book 1, but like it's so cool to see the progression and how you've written the characters, and I mean the progression of the story obviously, but just the craft. And I'm not like a big prose guy. Like I don't, I just did a whole rant on this about like everything I read is 5 stars because I'm easily entertained. But no, seriously, like you can see the difference, especially as you read through a series. It's like anything else. So that has probably been the most fun part. Like obviously getting to find out what's happening with the world and everything else. There was a battle early that I really liked. Was it chapter 5?
Chapter 5
I don't want to spoil anything.
Chapter 5 is its own. No, it probably wasn't chapter 5. There was something in chapter 5, I'm sure, that sticks out in your memory.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was really cool to read. It was very cinematic. I'm so bad with my memory when it comes to like chapter numbers and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't talk series with people, because like I'll talk Sun Eater with people, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm on this book," and I'm like, "You need to tell me exactly what's happening, because I'm going to spoil something for you."
Oh, that's. Oh, by the way, Laura Blake here.
Hi, Laura. I just recently finished Laura's book.
Yeah, don't worry about missing it. Yeah, Laura's The Forgotten Dawn. I think her Tides of Memory is her second book in the series that comes out. Oh gosh, when does that come out? I feel like April. I feel like April.
Very
soon. That's an April release.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an April release. Oh, IFC. Let's say really quick. Hold on. Living up each book is some solid life goals for sure. Yeah, I took that as a compliment, Devin, when you said it. May 14th. Okay, so it wasn't April. I think I might be thinking of Forgotten Dawn myself. Oh gosh, now I'm gonna probably get it both wrong. How's the learning curve with book 2 compared to book 1? Do I need a recap before diving in? So IFC, I do have a story so far in the beginning.
Yes, one of my big shout outs from the very first time I opened it in the e-reader was like, "You did a recap. Thank you. Everybody needs to do recaps. It's like, Last Time on Dragon Ball Z should be a part of every fantasy book, especially epic fantasy, where there's like so much shit happening. Like I can't remember yesterday. So
yeah, I that was something I was going to be reluctant on putting in, because I'm just like, I am sort of indifferent about story so fars. Personally, I do appreciate them, but then I justified it because I was like, Star Wars. And I'm just like, da, 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 da. And then that was like in my head, and I was like, okay, I got it.
I don't know. Gene Wolfe didn't do a chance. I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying. Gene Wolfe didn't do it. Why? I did see Christopher Rocchio did videos, and that was my initial intent. I was going to do that. All books should have.
By the way, shout out to Rocchio not doing the Disquiet Gods recap, because I was able to do it, and he pushed everyone to my video, and it's like one of the most watched videos on my channel now. So shout out Christopher for
doing
that work.
That is epic. Seth, by the way, I sent you a link to this stream if you wanted to stop in, or IFC. I don't know if I should say his name. Actually, I don't think it matters. Anyway, it's live now. Who cares? Sorry, buddy. Hopefully people skip past the 1 hour and 2 minute mark. I think a recap is valuable. I understand and appreciate. I appreciate it. Also, it's kind of silly. The concept of not putting one in for me is like, you're talking about like multiple perspectives. You're talking about having read probably so many things between books 1 and book 2. Those to me are the greatest arguments I think that exist for recaps. Laura Blake's books are on my TBR as well, EJ, and she has audiobooks as well for those out there.
Banger duet audiobooks, by the way.
Love a duet. That was something I was like, man, should I ask Tantor? And I was like, nah. For me, I said no, because my POVs are sort of all over. Like, you have a female perspective in like a chapter that has. I was like, I didn't want to. I was like, I'm not gonna put that on them. I was like,
yeah, it's. I don't know. I feel like duet works well when there's a romance element. I think that in epic fantasy it can be a little jarring. I know. What was it? Dual narration can work, I think, as long as the narrator can do the male parts, like, and not be weird about it, because that has taken me out before too, like in a dual narration where like there'll be a male scene and the female narrator puts on a very funny man voice.
The Fourth Wing audiobook, that one kind of threw me through a bit of a loop, if I'm being frank. As much as the Fourth Wing, the first book, I thought was fine. I thought it was a fine story. I definitely I don't know what my expectations were going in, but I think it exceeded them, actually, or just like maybe met them exactly where they were at. It was good. The second book was a little less, more, I think for me, it felt a little bit more just disjointed. I think, I don't know. And I don't think that's anything. I don't think it's probably more a me problem than it is anything else. Okay. No. Thank you. I'm justified. Bromantis, he said, I'm good.
There's a lot to unpack there. Yaros was a romance author. like an incredibly successful one, and I think people forget that. Like, it's not like she just
Right.
published Fourth Wing. But as we all know, sitting here, fantasy is a whole different game, and fantasy fans are a whole different game. So like, you gotta be on your P's and Q's when it comes to at least the idea of world building. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the first book I think is super scoped, which helped, and then as it expanded, I think that was the learning curve.
Mhm.
It does get better in the third one for anybody that cares.
Oh, you think it gets better? Okay, I have heard
It
Onyx Storm is-
expands the world. I like
Okay.
that part of it. I don't know. Frankly, at this point, if the main character died, I wouldn't be that mad. But
Yeah, I kind of felt that way in the second book. Yeah. So let's actually. Can you sort of spoiler free maybe run us through some Laura Blake action of the Forgotten
Ooh.
Dawn? Is that possible? Is that putting you on the spot? Maybe.
yeah, a little bit, but I can do it to an
Okay,
extent.
shoot.
So I did rant about it the other day. Laura's book is very much the start of an epic fantasy. It's shrouded in a trial, but it's not the main focus, even though like it's the plot driver, but it's not like it's not like Hunger Games where like the whole thing is a trial. Like, it is definitely trial, but it goes through the elements of things. It's got a really unique and interesting magic system where you kind of get phased into these social hierarchies that run the government, who all practice like different magic systems.
Mhm.
You end up in a, I don't know, what do they call them? Love triangle, I guess, technically.
Legally speaking.
Yeah, I called it a harem in the very beginning. I was quickly corrected by Esme and Laura, because the best friend is an actual best friend. Like, they're not humping.
Okay.
I've read too many books that have harems, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I see where this is going.
Esme's a Forgotten Dawn champion, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
She yelled at me repeatedly while I was reading it, and then to read it before that. So, but yeah, so it follows the main character, and then you get the Shadow Daddy, who I really enjoyed. He's so interesting to talk about without like spoiling anything. It makes it so hard. There's a lot of yearning, there's a lot of anger, but I think
from our resident Shadow Daddy.
Yeah, Danon, who audiobooks make me butcher names when I talk to people. So shout out to Laura for never once correcting me on misspelling her characters' names all the time. Thank you, Laura, to come save me from my on the spot.
She's like, I can't let him do this anymore.
She's like, he's fucking butchering my book. Shut up. Oh, I can swear, right? I probably should have asked that first.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, you're talking to a former somebody who was in the Navy. Yeah, you can swear.
I know.
And you've met me in person. I think you know you can swear.
I meant for the internet. The internet thing. I don't want to get you demonetized. YouTube gets mad about stuff.
I'm good. I don't think if I have made money from YouTube, I haven't seen a paycheck. I just finished reading Feathers Sharp as Knives, which was my type of romantasy. Subplots of romance that don't dominate the story, more tension and conflict and spice. I think there's like that bridge, that like romantic fantasy, which I believe that came back to a promo. Yeah. I mean, I think that bridge between romantic, like what you were doing with your page, Devin. I think Laura's book, from my understanding of it, is sort of in the vein of that gap, like trying to bridge that gap between the two, bringing romantasy readers into epic fantasy, bringing epic fantasy readers into romantasy, which I am. I mean, I'm all about. I really am.
It's become a very conflated term. Romantasy is too broad, in my opinion, and that's by design for marketing.
Yeah.
So that they can just plug everything they want into it. It's very skewed in how it's applied most of the time. That's why you'll see like a lot of the argument, like, oh, if Mistborn was written by Brenda Sanderson, it'd be romantasy. And it's like, we all know it wouldn't be romantasy. That's not the point. Hi, Laura.
Yeah.
Hi. I can help you a book promo. I'll take it.
Yeah, here to
me
save the
butchering
day.
your book. So make sure that you give the actual
all I
synopsis.
heard was Shadow Daddy and Danon, and I was like, I'm here for it. I know that's my book, so I'll take it.
Heck yeah. We were just, though I asked Devin to give sort of like spoiler free, I don't know, synopsis. Is that like the right? I don't think I asked for that. I just like give me a run
out of my ass, to be honest.
How did it go?
He mentioned something. Dang, I can't even come up with a fake thing. That sucks. I was gonna make fun, and I can't. I don't even have the ability right now.
Yeah.
I did talk about the harem.
He said Taco Bell. He said something about Taco Bell. I don't know.
Everyone gets tacos and
Okay.
Dorito Crunchwrap stuff. It's
Oh,
we're
Doritos Locos
blending
Tacos.
genres and food groups.
Hell yeah.
It's very modern.
You
But
know-
Laura, please, if while you're here, you might as well shoot and tell people about the Forgotten Dawn while we're celebrating the release of Mercy Ills of Fate.
I feel like we should
to
just talk
celebrate
about
everybody.
your book, but
No, yours is coming out in May. I mean, it's right here around the corner. Book
Give
two.
a
We're
better
talking about,
pitch than I did.
we're talking about book
It's,
twos.
Yeah, I should have brought it in here, but because I just got my proof for book 2.
What a
So I've
moment.
just been looking at it a lot and I keep
Yeah,
finding
staring.
the issues with the cover that I need to fix. But I think, and I mean, I haven't read my book as a reader. I wrote my book, but I did try to bridge that gap between epic fantasy and romantic fantasy. Book 2 is a lot more of that, especially because it goes from single POV to multi POV. And we're exploring new worlds. The politics gets a lot deeper. The lore is very, very prevalent in this book. So all of it gets richer, right? The way that I like to talk about it is that book 1 kind of lays the groundwork, and then you go into book 2 and you have the foundation and you start building the walls. And by book 3, we'll have a really solid roof to blow it off in book 4.
Wow,
but
that's actually a really good way to. It's a really
yeah,
good way
I
to sell a
think
story.
it's a fun way to go about it. I think it's gonna be interesting in the next. I want to say maybe 10 years. I agree with Devin that I feel romantasy is maybe too liberal of a term to be used these days, because there's so many variants within the genre. Like, I look at my book, and I'm not saying one is better than the other because I don't believe that at all. But I'll look at like a monster romance or a paranormal romance, and I'm like, that's being categorized the same way as my book, when in reality we share, like nothing in common other than the fact that we have characters in a book. Like,
Always
that's pretty
okay.
much as far as it goes.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be interesting to kind of see that jump. And like, this is something that I was talking to Chance about just vaguely in terms of marketing, but a lot of book talk readers that started out as pure romantasy readers, they came in with ACOTAR, Fourth Wing, whatever, are now starting to dip their toes in with more deeply rooted fantasy or sci fantasy. And it's been interesting to watch the crossover from, I'll call them like the book talk girlies, into Red Rising, and see how many are liking Red Rising and really running with that series. And seeing then people be like, okay, well, I'm going to try Robin Hobb, or I'm going to try Sanderson. And they're really finding a footing in fantasy that they might not have otherwise had. So I do think the next 10 years, probably in publishing, is going to be reflective of the fact that I think we're going to see more of that bridge of epic fantasy with romance, or romantic fantasy, as opposed to that 50-50 balance, or like 60-40 balance that we're getting romance fantasy. I think it's going to equalize more and maybe edge more into more traditional fantasy again, and then with more substantial romance that has existed, because these things always ebb and flow. That's the way the trends go.
Yeah. I actually do think that Robin Hobb, like, I haven't read your book, so obviously this is why I'm saying this. I think Robin Hobb is such like a great point of entry for people who have only read romantasy, meaning like,
Yeah.
they're coming from the big ones. They're coming from Fourth Wing. They're coming from Court of Thorns and Roses.
Right.
Other with the exception, because I don't think Throne of Glass. I think Throne of Glass is just epic fantasy with romance in it, right?
Yeah, towards the end it changes. I think.
Yeah,
it shifts.
It's interesting. The first 4 books are definitely more YA fantasy.
Okay.
And then we
Mhm.
kind of get into
Is where I'm at.
romantic fantasy. There you go.
Chapter 1 done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You're nailing this.
Yeah, starting off strong.
It's a weird one to kind of use as a comp, but I try to use it as a comp for people just because of the scope of how the world becomes by the end of that series. I feel is comparable to mine, and that's kind of how I pitch it to people. Also, we share the similarity that it starts single POV and it switches to multi POV. But it's
Okay.
interesting too, like, this won't become a whole chat on Sarah J. Maas, but her series are all so different from each other.
Mhm.
All 3 series are so vastly different. And I came in reading ACOTAR first, which is like the definition of romantasy. It is very much romance forward, fantasy second, and it's great. Like, I love it. And then everyone said to me, okay, now you have to read Throne of Glass. And I went into Throne of Glass expecting 8 books of ACOTAR and just kept going, but when does that happen? Like, I'm just waiting, and it's not like that. So it's definitely interesting just to see how even within romantasy, authors can put forth different stuff, kind of like Sanderson. Oh, he's got Stormlight Archive, he's got Warbreaker, Elantris. Like, there's different things that authors can do within these genres, but they all get labeled the same.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jake. Actually, I'm curious. You have not read Realm of the Elderlings yet. What would an entry point be for you if you were to recommend somebody coming from what your knowledge is of romantasy? What would an epic fantasy story be that you would bring readers into to be like, you need to read this? Like, what comes to my brain is like maybe a Sanderson book. I know that he has like Tress. I know that there's some other
Warbreaker.
or
Yumi.
Yumi
yeah.
or Warbreaker
Yumi's
would be the
great.
2 that I would think.
The first thing that came to mind to me was Jay Kristoff. Maybe that's because that's the only books I've read that have like sex scenes in
Yeah.
them. But I mean, there's a lot of like epic fantasy stuff in there.
Christoph is a romantasy author. I don't care what he says. I've said this.
I
I've said
say
this
that
directly
about
to
Joe
him.
Abercrombie, and people laugh at me. I'm like, if that's not a romantasy, then I don't know what is.
Joe Abercrombie has the best sex scenes in books. There's
They're
nothing like it.
phenomenal. I love them so much. So
Is
I
there-
I laugh at it, and I'm like, guys, it's romance and fantasy. That is romantasy by definition. So if that's what we're gonna get hung up on is the definition, that's what it is.
Yeah, there actually is so much.
Can I ask you guys a question? Because
Sure.
Laura and Devin, obviously, you guys know way more about this than me. Like, if you were like in fantasy, like there's grimdark and there's blah blah blah. There's a million of them, right? Are there terms like within the romantasy quote unquote umbrella fandom that like people use to separate things out, or is it still just one big term?
I mean,
Yes and
It's
no.
yeah, it's a mixed bag. I would say like you'll get people that will call it like dark romantasy.
Yeah.
You'll see that a lot. But it's a double-edged sword in the romance genre. I've learned very quickly.
Mhm.
So it's not like if I tell you you're going to read a dark fantasy, like you expect like torture, gruesome scenes, that kind of stuff. When I say it's a dark romantasy, it can mean either that it's all of those things with a romance, or the romance is dark. And
Yeah.
and when I say dark, I've found it very interesting. I've not read a lot of it, so I'm not well versed here, but it's very interesting to me. There's a lot of stuff you would never want to happen in real life, would be my assumption, that goes on in these books. But I guess the same could be said about fantasy. Like, I don't want to go to war and get stabbed with a broadsword in like my shoulder either. But
Mhm.
I don't know, something about it. Maybe it's just from a guy's perspective of being like beaten into my head, like you don't do that for your entire life, as long as you were raised like a normal person.
It's very judgmental.
So, like,
Devin.
you
I
don't-
Yeah.
You don't. Well, it's funny you say that, because now I'm going to tell you what I mean, and then you're going to be like, "Oh shit!" No, I'm kidding. But like, you don't
We don't
force
kink shame,
yourself.
man.
Yeah, you don't force yourself on a woman. No is no. Like, you don't drug her to take her somewhere. There's some series, the Raven something, the Raven Court, Raven. I don't know. I
Raven
have to
King?
look it up. Maybe it's like a
Is it the-
duet, I think, or duology. He like
Is it
breaks
the
her
new-
legs so she can't leave.
Oh,
Does that
yeah.
sound correct to you?
Like
Yeah,
misery.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
not
I think
normal?
that's
What?
Feather
I
So
didn't read
Vicious.
that.
I think it's
Yes,
Feather So
yes.
Vicious. Yeah.
I didn't. read it
Literally,
personally,
my bones
but-
just healed.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah,
Sorry.
so like that's
Sorry.
the kind of stuff where they're like, yeah, this is based. I love this, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know, I just can't identify. I don't get it. Maybe,
Yeah.
but
I think part of it too, and I mean, it's really interesting when you ask people if they're more a character reader or a plot reader, right? And I think it comes down to a lot of that, because I'm gonna generalize here. Obviously, this is not everybody. This is my experience. Epic fantasy readers are typically plot readers. I feel like you're there for the big scope, the big role, the plot, like the driving quest. Romantasy readers are there for character reading and character work, because with so much of the plot being romance, you don't have as much time for the world for it being built out and everything. So the thing with like dark romantasy or dark romance or whatever, what makes it interesting is that you're dealing with really morally gray people. and you have more time devoted to that person and figuring out, are they really a piece of shit, or what's motivating that? And like, there's a lot of recycled tropes and themes in romantasy, the same way it is in epic fantasy or grim dark fantasy. I'd say it probably has the least amount of it. But I mean, if you look at epic fantasy, okay, you've got typically a 16 or 18-year-old who gets selected by some weird thing. They're on a quest, whatever. In romantasy, it's really a woman's journey with discovering something. And it could be about herself. It could be to protect people. And a lot of the time it's encountering this and how we deal with it. And it's really interesting because like Devin was saying, you know, it's like as a woman, my antenna go up when I find a man in real life that I'm like, you're creepy as fuck. Get away from me. But on a page, I'm like, he's interesting. Why is he like that? You know?
And then there's some guys you look at and you're like, I'd break your legs and make sure that you can't leave.
To make sure you can't leave.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know.
it.
I think it's like regular fantasy in the way that it allows you to live through the lens of a different life without putting yourself actually in harm's way and at risk.
That makes
But
sense to me.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
Yeah.
interesting. Like, I highly recommend people reading dark romantasy just at least at one point, just because it's so interesting. Melissa K. Rorich's Legacy series is the one that I recommend more than anything else. It's dark in that every single person in that book is a morally gray person and is objectively horrible, and also what is happening in the world is equally dark and horrible, and I'm like, and you can't stop reading.
Okay.
So yeah, it's good.
Okay. I actually want to touch on Alex. Hey, what's up, dude? Welcome.
Hey,
If you
Jess.
haven't, Alex,
Hello,
if you
everybody.
have not met Laura or Devin, this is
Hey.
Laura and this is Devin.
Hi, Alex.
Devin's in
Nice
the
to
purple.
meet you.
Laura's
You
got the orange
too.
lights in the background, just in case.
I
I feel
do,
like
yeah.
romantasy uses general tropes more often in their marketing tactics, enemies to lovers, rather than putting the premise of the story first.
No,
I-
that's marketing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I'll speak to this quick. I do think that there is a broad demand of people to understand what story, like what they're getting into in their stories.
Mhm.
Generally speaking,
Yeah.
I think I will say that probably in my algorithm, I do see it typically more. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I see it more with like the traditional romantasy stories that come out there. That said, like I mean, Laura, again, thank you, by the way, for doing such a crazy good job putting together those graphics that were on my social media recently. The ones that do express my tropes, because I was like, oh, I don't even know. Like, it's like, I typically take all my tropes and I'm like, I don't even think about tropes when I'm writing. I just think about story, but I do get that it is a valuable marketing tool when it comes to getting your book out there, getting readers. And I will say the engagement that I have on the post that Laura was so kind to make for me is drastically higher than my videos with my lightsaber microphone. I don't know what it is, but I think people like to hear
It's
that
sad.
story.
It saddens me, but
I would have thought, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it is something that is effective. And EJ has read all of Sarah J. Maas so far. He's just waiting for books 6
Me
and 7.
too.
I need to
Um,
read Crescent City still.
I
Crescent
think
City.
you'll like it at first, and then we'll see.
I like urban fantasy. I had a good time with Red City, and what's another one I read recently? I don't know, but I don't have any other
Red
good-
Cities. Those covers are freaking.
They're
Dude,
nice.
Marie
yeah.
Lou crushed that.
Gets me
Crushed
hyped.
Mhm.
that.
Alex, let me ask you: have you
Yeah.
finished Mercy Ills of Fate? Or are you right there at the end?
I'm right there at the end. I'm on
Okay.
page 450.
Unacceptable. I'm kidding. That's
I know.
You're farther than me.
no. That's epic, dude.
I
Thank
actually
you. I mean,
wanted
you.
to finish it last night, but then it just didn't happen.
No, you're okay, man. I was.
How
just,
long
I was
is
just pointing
book
your chin.
2?
And paper
600
and
pages.
regular paperback, not the ARC edition.
Oh,
I
it's different?
believe It's 5x8. This one's roughly
Mhm.
643.
9. Okay.
Wait, are you
Yeah,
doing
5 by
regular
8.
paperback for these?
I'm doing 5x8 paperbacks. Yeah, the ARCs are the only
Oh.
things that are in paperback at 6x9.
Did you do
Why
that?
are
on
you
one?
doing 5x8 instead of 6x9?
By the advice of Abel Montero. And I think it's something about the sizing of the 6x9 paperback and the hardcover, because my hardcover
Yeah.
is 6x9.
Mhm.
And so I wanted some differing size. Also, I am a sucker for a mass market paperback, and this gets me just a little bit closer to a mass market paperback.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm like,
Love it.
how large can I make this book?
Yeah.
I know, I'm the
Yeah.
exact same way. Like mass
Uh,
market paperbacks are too small for my eyes. The font.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm blind. while
Alex,
trying
you're
to
too
read
young to
them.
say that, brother.
Yeah, you're.
Come on, I've been wearing glasses since I was in kindergarten.
That's actually so epic.
He's allowed then, yes.
I think I was
Otherwise, for
So
us
for 3
senior
years.
folks, yeah.
Oh my
Is that
God.
mass market? That's the
That is UK mass market first edition
dude.
God
That
almighty.
is
that I got for $3.
epic.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
it's
my
kind of beat up, but you know what? It was $3. So
No, I mean, yeah,
Hard
you're
to
talking
beat.
also about a first edition from like 2004.
yeah.
Yeah.
They are phasing them out though. I've read.
Yeah, mass markets
Mass
are getting
market.
phased out.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
some
yeah, kill
ideas. Let me say this: I have some ideas for Mercy in the future. If I can find, I'm going to try in the future to find a mass market producer once the series is complete, and I'm going to try to get a Kickstarter at that point done that gets some mass markets and Mercy complete, because I'm a sucker. And so 5x8 for me is like a perfect between the 6x9 and the mass market that I like. It comes together. We get romantic fantasy. That's a callback to you, Laura. But it's just sort of like tying in all the things that I like and
Yep.
probably what readers will like.
I'm gonna do a
about it.
Kickstarter too at the end of mine, but
Yeah.
I'm doing like special edition hardcovers.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
not mass
I'm gonna-
market
I'm gonna give you
paperback.
guys the
Natural.
cheapest book I can give
The
you.
natural.
No,
Kickstarter
I'm already
progression.
like, what character art can I do for all of that stuff? Like that's kind of where my brain goes. I just want all of the character art and covers. That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, I do want to do like a special edition omnibus hardcover, and I think a part of it will be like a stretch goal. I think is going to be sort of this mass market situation. I think that is going to be
Mhm.
my goal.
Oh, do you
Oh,
mean
good
for
idea.
like each saga or like the entire thing? Because that would be enormous.
No,
Correct.
an omnibus of the first arc, and then an omnibus
Okay.
of the second arc. Yeah,
Okay, okay. I was
that was
like-
my intention, because the first 2 books, for those tuning in to the Mercy saga as it is, the first 2 books finish out the first arc of the story I had intended. The second 2 books will close out the series, and it's technically a duology in that way, disguised as a 4-volume series, because it's a really hard sell for a debut to be like, hey, I need you guys to read this 350,000 word book. That just
Oh.
didn't seem reasonable for me. So I was like, okay, let me just release them as 2 volumes.
I would
and
have
then go
loved
from
it though. Just like coming out really bold
Like-
and be like, read the Bible, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it Red Rising is I forget how many pages in the first like trilogy, but I have the omnibus. So just to give you an idea,
Yeah, let me
There's
see
a
what this
omnibus?
looks like.
They are?
Actually, I didn't even know there was an omnibus.
Yeah, I didn't know they made that either.
I didn't know either, but I want to see it.
Devin, show me.
all right. So first of all, I'm cheating. The omnibus is only in Italian
Hey,
for some reason,
mamma mia! It's a pizza.
but
Oh, that's cool.
it's stunning.
That
First
looks
of all,
so cool though.
what
but-
the hell?
Oh, that's like almost as big as the Vampires and Dust.
it's huge. But what's crazy
Almost.
is like they put all the Subterranean Press art in between
Oh,
each.
cool. I love that.
Oh,
Dude, that is
Each
how much
so
did you pay for that to have all that in one book?
$30.
It was $70 on Amazon shipped to my house from Italy.
What? No, you're
Okay,
shitting me.
so I think maybe $70 might be spent, even though I can't read Italian.
Well, that's
For
kind
that.
of where I'm at, but the dedication's in English, so that's cool. There's like a special
Yeah.
letter from
Oh,
Piers
dude, I can
Brown.
get it for $20. I'm kidding. That's the Kindle version.
Oh, that would have been
There's
sick.
so
actually.
many nice European versions of books.
Oh, yeah.
Like Poland
But, like,
makes
It's
such nice covers for stuff. And I'm like, guys, we all just got to start reading in Polish and we're
Nope.
good to go.
Sorry.
There are foreign covers that are
Side
just so beautiful that really blow my mind.
Mhm.
Okay, it is $70 in
Yeah.
Italian. I'll just
That's
have a bell.
incredible.
I'll just have a bell read it to me.
Yeah.
You guys think
Have
I'm
you
kidding?
guys-
I'm gonna get on a
Have
Discord
you
call.
seen the Piranesi Indonesian cover?
No.
no.
Well, now I need to look it
Looking
up.
that up now.
Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
Look it up. It is gorgeous. Like one of the best covers I've ever seen. Gorgeous.
Piranesi, I gotta read.
Oh my god,
Oh,
it's
it's so good.
amazing, Piranesi. It's one of my favorite books of all time.
Ooh,
Wow,
that is really
gorgeous.
pretty.
The Folio Society
Gorgeous.
edition is gorgeous too.
I love
Wow.
that.
That
Can I
looks
order
like
this?
what does that look like? That's insane, man.
Like,
Can I buy this right now? That's what I'm looking up.
The
I also have
audio
to
for
go.
that chance is also excellent.
For Pure Nessie?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
understood.
Good to
Understood.
know because I
And it's
still
only
haven't
like
read it.
it's like 6 hours. It's not long. I never say his name correctly ever, but he's the actor Chital O something.
I'm not
He's
gonna get it
in
right.
Love Actually. He's in Doctor Strange. Yeah, Doctor Strange. Like he's in a ton of stuff.
Okay.
He does such a good job with the narration for that book. But
Okay.
yeah, it's one of my
What?
top 5 books of all time. It's so good.
Whoa, that one, Pure Nessie, I think is that's going to be. I probably honestly will read Throne of Glass through its entirety before I touch Pure Nessie.
I'm like, is this like a recent thing that you've just decided to read Throne of Glass?
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's all Devin's fault. No, I'm really.
To be fair, you talked about it before I did, so good.
I
I'll
am
be
excited.
curious what you think about
read
it.
I'm excited to
Same
read
here.
it, mostly because it's like I don't want to say it's out of my wheelhouse. Like I'm a big Farseer trilogy fan, and I feel like we sort of have that assassin. We'll call it a trope. Bleed into Throne of Glass a little bit.
Sort of, but
Yeah.
not.
Just get through
They're
the
very
first two
different. They're
books.
very, very
I heard the
different.
writing is very similar. No,
Yes,
No.
very, very similar prose. This is
No.
the best
I'm
character
kidding,
work
I'm
ever
kidding.
made. No, I'm kidding.
I feel like I should stop. That's,
Chance, thank you. By the way, I got to drop because my small people are yelling, so I have
Sure.
to deal with
Yeah.
that.
Enjoy the time with your small people.
Bye, Devin.
Yeah, thank you.
you
Congrats
for
again on the
stopping by.
book. If you haven't
Seriously.
ordered Mercy 1 and 2, do it. I ordered the hardcover, which didn't come today, so now I'm mad because I would have showed it off. But,
Oh yeah.
And then, did you talk about launch editions?
Launch editions. I did the Broken Binding. I'm collaborating with the Broken Binding on getting launch editions completed. A bundle. We're gonna do either 100 to 200 bundles together. We're gonna see sort of what the demand looks like, and we will print them. And then
Okay.
the goal is to have them for each book.
That's awesome.
My last flex before I go because I
Mhm.
always have to show
Oh
this
yeah,
off.
this is
Oh,
actually
where is
seriously.
it? Hold on.
This is a big flex.
I gotta find
Oh,
the
is that
page.
the one?
It's
No,
like
no.
hidden.
He's just got the one. He's got the one.
I have V1.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Oh,
Number
wow.
One of 100.
Wow.
Dude, how sick is that?
I have
Love
V1.
that.
No.
That is there was only 100 of those numbered and signed editions.
I have
Those
too many
that
books. I
signing
can't get it back there.
that signing page showed there have been a lot of people asking about that as well. The numbered and signed editions from the Broken Binding for book 2. There will be those editions as well. We still will do another print of 100 for those. I don't think they have a way of. It's not like Endurida, I think, because Endurida they like got the number, and then like I got the print of Empire of Silence and Murdered Sun. They gave me the same
Mhm.
numbered edition, but I don't think Broken Binding does that,
Mm-mm.
and I don't think they have like print rights there.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I did. Somebody in your chat asked about, do they have to have a sub? So is it going to be like that was, or is it going to be like Moshe's book where you got early access with the sub and then it went gen?
That is a great question. For the launch editions, I think it will be the same that it was for the numbered editions.
Okay.
I don't. This should be this year for the Broken Binding. I don't want to like put words in their mouths, but the goal is to have like the pre-orders at least up before the summer, and then that way we can get the launch editions out. I might do a run of signed paperbacks through my website in the interim because I do want to offer some sort of signed something, and I haven't because we were getting these launch editions put together. I sort of put aside everything signed, and that said, like I did move into a smaller apartment. Having my sister and mom package things up with me last year for the signed hardcovers was fantastic, but
Yeah.
it was probably more brutal for my sister and my mom than it was for me. I mean, other than obviously signing and putting the boxes, like in getting labels and figured out, but I didn't want really. I was like, okay, I really feel like doing that twice in 8 months to them is kind of brutal. So I feel like signed paperbacks is more reasonable because we don't need boxes. We got the envelopes. Hey, Devin, go take care of your small people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning
Bye,
in. man.
y'all. Have a good night.
Right, Devin.
Yeah.
Bye.
numbered editions of books tapping into my OCD. Yeah, you're gonna want the signed and limited numbered editions of Tears of the Fallen. I don't think will exist, the numbered editions at least. I think there was only 100, and that's just going to be what it is. So unfortunately, if you buy a numbered edition of the second book, can't say it'll match the first book, and then I also can't say that you'll ever get access to a numbered edition of the first book unless somebody decides that they want to give it to you or
put a
sell. I don't know
PSA
how that
out
works.
for matching.
Yeah. That's I get it. I'm sort of indifferent about that thing. I'm sort of anti OCD, not like anti if you have OCD, like that's but like I am like I will set the microwave for 43 seconds just to like piss people off.
My husband's like
Yeah.
that, and like
Yeah.
used to set the alarm to wake up at like 6:27. I'd be like,
Yeah,
why
I do that too.
27? Like, what is that? You know? And he's like, well, 6:30 is too early, and 6:20 or too late, and 6:25 is too early. And I'm like, and I've now started doing that where I'll set the microwave for like 48 seconds, and I'm like, what's happening to me?
Well, think about all of the different preparation in a microwave of food. Like, yeah, okay, I know what it tastes like at 30 seconds, but I don't know what it tastes
But
like
what
at
is
31.
33.
33, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like maybe it tastes better. Maybe
Do you want to
tastes
live on
3
the edge?
seconds better.
39.
39.
Like,
That's
sometimes
9 seconds plus 9 seconds
crazy.
is actually
Yeah.
kind of crazy. That's a
Exactly.
bold move.
Exactly.
Okay, so Alex, really quickly, what are your current thoughts where you're sitting right now, without spoilers, in Mercy Ills of Fate? You can say you don't know. You can say you have no idea, and that's okay too.
Oh, I'm loving it. If I had the choice, I probably would have blazed through it last night. So what's probably going to happen is as soon as I get off, I'm going to take like 5 minutes to go eat something.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to pick this up right after.
Hell
I am loving it. I got to that point, the 400-page mark, because I texted you as soon as I hit it, where boom, we're off to the races. And now it's like, when's the next time I get to pick up the book? When's the next time I get to pick up the book?
Oh, that's a good feeling.
And so
I love that.
That's an incredible actually, to hear you say that is actually insane.
That's so nice.
so good.
Yeah, that actually means a lot, because I felt that way writing it. I was like, in the editing phase, there was a lot of times where, and I don't know if I'm sure you've experienced this, Laura, too, where you put down a chapter, with the exception of, I understand like the self-doubt and like wow, that sucks, and maybe I need to like, get going past that. I think, especially when I think after like the first round of editing, I think it starts as it gets cleaner, you start feeling a lot better about it. I hit a lot of points where I finish a chapter, and I'm like, oh, damn. I put it down. I'm like, okay, I might be good at this. I might be okay at this.
I have a few of those moments where I'm like, I'll read a line and I'm like, oh wow, that's really good. And I'm like, oh, I wrote that. Like, and it's just that kind of aha moment. But I had a similar moment today where for context, I went to go get an iron infusion today and they drugged me up crazily. So I was super groggy while I was sitting there. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check my Goodreads reviews for my Street Team arcs that went out, because why not? And this woman left me the nicest review, to the point that like I almost started crying like as I was getting this iron infusion. I looked so unhinged. And she highlighted in the review lines that as I was writing them, I was like, these are the lines in the book that mean the most to me. Whoa. And I sent the review to my husband, who beta reads all of my books. And he was like, she picked the best lines. And I was like, I know. Like, and it was so cool, because I was like, when you're editing and you're going through it and you're writing down and you're like, oh, fuck, like that's the line that can resonate with somebody, because it's resonated with me as the author. And like, when you know that hits, it's perfection. It's such a dopamine hit. It is such a dopamine hit. Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, like I just got one sitting here, Alex, when you said that you didn't.
Exactly. It's so nice.
It's like, that's better than any like on Instagram, I tell you what.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So just be ready that when I write my review on Goodreads, it's going to be a raving one.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Spoilers.
That's always good.
I'm sorry, I spoiled it.
Spoiler. And also, Alex kicked off the quote unquote tour, even though there's nothing really scheduled like there was for book one. But the interviews, the live streams for Mercy, for the quote unquote tour that I am sort of doing loosely. If people want to chat, I'm always game to chat. But yeah, no, I'm super grateful that you had me on, Alex, and that we got to hang out. That was really fun.
I was happy to have you on, man. It's
yeah.
a blast talking to you anytime.
Yeah, the moment that you just read in that book is one that I can't. If Jake makes it that far, if he decides not to put it down, I just leave it open. You know, I just want to make. I don't want to assume that you're going to get there, but if you do, and kindly, I am curious as to what your thoughts will be, and that is that's as a champion of mercy as well.
I said the same thing to Devin. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hopefully, there's a shadow daddy in there to keep me around, right? That's the thing.
The hope. It's the hope always.
Yeah.
Right? I said the same thing to Devin when he was like, "I'm reading your book." I was like, "Feel free to DNF it if you don't like it. Like, it's okay." It always feels so weird when you know someone is reading your book and you're just like, "Okay, I hope you don't hate it."
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I hope it works for you. It's like, yeah, I really hope it. I hope you don't hate it, and that's it. You know, if you do, it's fine. Also,
yeah, exactly. But
as far as shadow daddies are concerned, I think technically speaking, I don't know. There's some of that.
I'm telling you, you have to pitch it as a romantic fantasy, and you'll get all the people coming over.
Yeah, the second book, the issue with that for my series is like, although there is romance as like a subplot, and like actually it's kind of like love is generally at the root of the story. Really, if I think you're going to get to the end here, Alex, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. There is this sense, and the first book opens up with this sort of arc and closes with this introduction, I'll say, of a particular character that like love is deeply tied into the root of the story. But it feels sort of disingenuous to pitch it as romantasy. It's not at the point.
Not romantasy.
Romantic fantasy.
Epic
yes.
fantasy. Yes.
The third book will have a little bit more of that, just by nature of the way that the story is going to go.
Fair.
There's some characters that love each other, and that's just kind of how it works. But it's not so much to the point where I would say that, like, although Jake Kristoff, Empire of the Vampire, right? Jake, as you were saying, is like probably a perfect pitch to somebody who's coming over from romantasy specifically. Not just for the sake of that, there is sex scenes.
Red Rising too. Like that's
Red Rising.
It's like, and that's kind of why, I mean, I say that, and you and I were talking about it a little while ago. I was like, these are the readers you really should be pitching, because when you look at Red Rising objectively, if you pull back, love is at the core of it. Like Eo's actions don't happen without love. You know, Darrow's actions don't happen without love. Mustang's actions don't happen without love. Like that's the motivator, despite everything around them absolutely being a clusterfuck. But like that's really what it comes down to for a lot of characters, and it's just how you go about that in your story. Like, you know, it does sit at the root of the story for sure. Especially if we consider how my first book opens, how the second book ends. That is still such an important part of the story. If I were to, I feel like I'd get a shit ton of 1-star reviews. If I get that all the time, because people come into mine as romance readers and they're like, not enough romance, and then other people come in and they go, well, it's too much romance, and I'm like, you can't win. You just
it's so
can't
funny.
win.
You can't win. Yeah.
You know?
And so I did recently, because of your motivation, start selling the subplot of the romance that's in the story, because it's there, it exists, and it again, love is at the core of it. Seth, hello, welcome. IFC Indie Fantasy Club.
I'm gonna take off. Like Devin, I have a small one that is needing some attention, but
of course,
congratulations for book 2. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and thank you for sharing a lot of your process with everybody else so they can steal.
Oh, I always talk way too much, but thank you anyway. Bye guys, have a good night.
Later, Laura. Thank you so much. Seth, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Chance. I just saw everyone was bragging about your book, so I wanted a chance to add my 2 cents to the stream. I had to finish up some work things before I could join, but I was passively listening as I was working on some things. So
hell yeah. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. We had a conversation as well, mostly talking about the marketing of the story early on, but you were indeed a relatively early adopter of the Tears of the Fallen. Which, again, super grateful that you were willing to read it when you did. Super grateful that you gave it a Hidden Gem Award over at the Indie Fantasy Club. For those who don't know the blog, We have actually this is actually kind of an epic crossover moment. This is like NCIS and Law and Order with Nerd Level Rising and Indie Fantasy Club coming together in this moment. Just because our Nerd Level rises and we are in this Indie Fantasy Club together. But yeah, no, I am super grateful that you had me on, A, and then B, or that you read the book and then that you had me on. So thank you.
Of course. I mean, it's so well deserved. So I'm just going to give a quick plug from my perspective of I've only read Tears of the Fallen, haven't read Ill as the Fate. I have it slotted to read in the coming, I think next month I have it on my list. So it's eagerly anticipated because it is Hidden Gem Award winner, which I have a whole ranking scale that I have for books to specifically award really well-developed stories from self-published and indie authors. So Chance was definitely one of those. I tell people this because I would not count myself as a typical reader of this type of story. Like, it's just super, super complicated in my simple reading capabilities. Like, I'm a very simple reader. So when I first cracked it open, I was like, oh no, I was very nervous, very intimidated, because we just get thrown not just in the deep end. It's like getting dropped out of a plane into the ocean. It's like, good luck to swim to shore.
Yeah. Maybe a submarine opens up and you're 100 meters down.
That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping for something to come save me. But
no, I mean, you're in the submarine, then it opens up, and then you got to get to the top.
True.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just think that if you're willing to stick with it, if you like those types of books, first of all, if you like things like, Malazan, where it's like very deep world building, complex character relationships, it was just one of those books where once I got through a certain point, like I think it was like the 40% mark or like 50%, somewhere around there, where it was like, really, you just get sucked into the experience because you start to have all these pieces come together. You start to get to know the characters on just a really deep motivational level. And it doesn't hold your hand, which I had read a bunch of books that did a significant amount of hand holding. So I was ready for a break from that type of, this is how this works. And by the way, this happened in this story. And like, I was getting a little bit, had enough of that. It has its place. I like it, but it was nice to transition into a little bit more of a complicated story. And I just loved where the story went. I thought it ended in an excellent way that kept my engagement, made me want to learn more as to what's coming up. So that's my plug for Mercy, Tears of the Fallen. Worth reading. It's a challenge if you're not accustomed to, more complicated books. But if you stick with it, I think that it's worth it.
Thank you very much. That means a ton. It is so interesting also hearing everybody's different experiences with it along the way, because it really does. It's so interesting for me as the person who wrote it to get the different perspectives that people bring, and to come from, like you just said, a background where you're traditionally reading more, I don't want to say hand-holdy, but like probably maybe better written, but like, books that hold your hand, and by way of their storytelling method, and then coming into this one, trusting me, which I'm super grateful that you did. And you ended up finishing and enjoying it enough to want to read the second.
Yep.
I think the second book does follow, and maybe Alex, you can speak to this too a little bit. It does follow a similar kind of concept where it doesn't necessarily hold your hand, but I think in the second book, I do a little bit more of visually painting better. That was an intention I went in with, to give people a better idea of what they're looking at, to help with the sort of like leading along in the story, because I wanted people, after the first book and after getting sort of grounded in the narrative and in the story and being introduced to the primary antagonists that we get at the end of the first book, primary antagonists that we get at the end of the first book, I did want to reward the reader coming into the second book with a little bit more, with that sort of grounded feeling. And Alex, I don't know if you experienced that or.
I think to a degree I definitely did, but also I do have to say I am definitely a little bit removed from Tears of the Fallen, in that it has been about like a year since I read it.
Yeah.
So So what I definitely did see what's the word, increase jump in prose quality,
Yeah, thank you.
but what you're saying specifically, I bet you if I looked, I'd probably catch on.
Okay. Yeah. I guess maybe that's just me writing. That's not something that I guess I'm like, yeah, this is like super intentional. Everybody's going to pick up on this, but that's like maybe not always the case, you know?
I mean, I
just
feel like it's a sign that you did great. If I'm not really picking up on it,
that's a good point.
Subtly brought it in.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Well, listen, I'm looking forward to book 2 because I feel like I've put in all of the work for book 1. Like book 1 was like, I've done all the work for like learning the world building, learning the characters, learning all this lore. So I feel like book 2 will be so much of an easier jump, even if there is more world building and is more expansion. I feel like I've already got a pretty good like starting point, as opposed to like coming in cold to a book 1 where like you have to learn all of these things as you go. That's one of the reasons why I like continuing series, is because it's like, okay, when you start a brand new series, you know, with each new book, it's like you're starting a brand new learning curve with each story that you're reading. You have to learn the world, you have to learn the characters, you have to learn the magic, it's almost a little bit like homework to like get your brain to adjust to these new things. But when you can pick up on a next book in a series, it's like so refreshing to just be able to be like, okay, I already know where this world is, so now I can just enjoy and slip into it.
Yes. Yeah, there definitely is that. I wanted again to reward the putting the work in to get there. I do, obviously, like I think Brandon Sanderson says this about promise, progress, and payoff. So I tried to sort of, I guess, subconsciously, like knowing that, having listened to his courses, to include that, because I knew I was going with a high learning curve story, like a high learning curve narrative. And so I wanted to focus on the promise, focus on the progress, focus on the payoff. He even had said something in one of his lectures about promising things that the reader doesn't know you're promising, and then paying those things off. And then innately something in you, the reader, knows that I told you earlier that this was something that was going to happen. And then it does happen, even if it's not the primary thing. It might necessarily be a red herring in a lot of ways. But that was something that I think sort of came naturally in the narrative. And then book 2 is a lot of paying off, again, promises, or even Esme said in her Grimdark magazine review, it's like answers to questions you didn't even know you had. Like I wanted to sort of pay that off a lot, especially towards the end. And yeah, I don't know. It was such a fun journey to write. And Jake, I know you're working on your PhD, but I also know that you are working or have worked on some stories as well, and storytelling. I don't mean to put you on the spot. Have you dove into that recently at all? I know the PhD is probably taken up primarily.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but I have a tiny bit. Really quick before I talk about that, though, I do want to get my token NBA joke in. I see JB Mosley, Jazz fans feeling as good as Magic fans. The difference is the Jazz are losing on purpose.
Hey, you leave the Jazz alone. We've been good consistently for so long. The one year we tank, we get penalized for it. That's crazy. Come on. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty
literally
funny.
The 76ers, trust the process. Their whole 5-year scheme was tanking nothing. But Jazz went for 1 year.
So funny.
Don't even get me started. This will be way too much of a tangent. But
PL himself, PL Stewart himself. I know Jake. You're currently reading, or you finished one of PL's books in the Drowned Kingdom saga?
Yeah, I'm like, I think today I hit the 80% mark in book 3.
Okay.
Book 2 was a huge jump in quality from book 1, and I think it again here. Like book 3 is awesome.
Okay, love to hear that. I'm excited either way.
That's exciting.
Thanks so much, PL. Really appreciate you stopping in. That is a series that I am intent on getting to as well by the end of the year. I'm like trying to categorize my TBR, and like reading The Crippled God right now. As soon as that is behind me, I feel like I will have so much more room to breathe, which I'm really looking forward to. Casey, also welcome. So Casey and I, and actually I think or maybe Alex and Jake too. I don't know if you guys met Casey when we were at the Sun Eater Gala, but Casey was cracking away, working, sweating, getting after it for our Lord, our hero, Christopher Rocchio.
Good catch.
Stop myself. For the Sun Eater himself, the man we follow into fire, Christopher Rocchio, as it were. So Casey, thank you so much for joining. You were also here for the launch of book 1. You're muted, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't realize I was still muted. I thought I did that a long time ago. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
I'm here.
Yeah,
the gala was a nightmare as it was at the time. I was here for the previous stream for book 1, and I am still a poser because I have not read it yet, even though
That's all right, man.
it's literally right there.
As long as it's there, that's okay.
TBRs are
Have a great night, PL,
so-
by the way. Sorry, Seth, what'd you say?
I was just saying TBRs. I think we all understand are a nightmare. So
Yeah.
like it's a never-ending stream of books that we need to read at some point. So
Yeah. And speaking of
Correct.
never-ending stream, this has been a never-ending stream, and Casey has been here since July. He hasn't gotten off. But yeah, but I'm super grateful you stopped by. I'm actually happy to have met you in person. I'm happy you got your copy. I'm happy that made it there. What's going on with you? What's going on with your reading journey currently? I told Jake earlier, like my ability to watch BookTube lately has been moot. But I actually was a fan of yours before we even actually conversed. So tell me,
Right.
please, about your current reading.
Well, 2026 is a little bit more of a return to form for me, I can say. 2025 was not great for my reading. I read like barely half of my norm last year, and no small amount of that was copy editing stuff. So it was a very different kind of year. And I also had, I would say it wasn't a fantastic quality year either, actually, because I had like 3 5 out of 5s in 2025, and one of those was a 4.5 that I rounded up. Whereas this year I had 3 5 out of 5s in January alone, I think.
Wow.
So I have not rated anything below 4 out of 5 so far this year, and I'm much more on a normal pace. So as far as that's concerned, fantastic.
Until you pick up
Although it will be say what until I read Tears of the Fall. Yeah, 1 out of 5 worst book I've ever read. Except for
freedom to
maybe
do
Blood Meridian.
Right.
But no, it's been solid. It'll slow down a little bit here soon since working for Rocchio ought to actually pop off eventually here once government stuff actually gets over with.
Right. Right. Wait, so you're still doing some copy editing work with Christopher?
Well, implicitly, but I'm actually going to be hiring on with him full time here. But the hiring process has taken months.
Well,
because of
congratulations.
local governments. So
Oh, okay. Wow, man, that is awesome. That's epic.
yeah, I'll be posting a video of my own, not to self promote, on my channel.
You should.
I think it's like the 19th of April or something is when I loosely have that plan to go up. So theoretically, I'll actually have been working for a few weeks by then. But like I said, we'll see. I was
think we're all
supposed to start in
wondering-
January.
I think we're all
January
wondering
5th, so.
how to get hired by Christopher Rocchio, but that's that's so epic. Man.
End up in the right conversation and somehow convince him of stuff.
There you
That
go,
was
man.
basically it.
That's great. That's great. Hey, Longsun Melrubius, is
I know that guy.
You do. Okay. Was he the one that you had mentioned had shouted Tears of the Fallen to you when we talked in July?
I think so. I know he has read it. He's one of the
Yeah.
people that has talked about it in the Red Company.
Okay,
For
yeah,
sure. I know that
me.
much.
He gave me a pretty glowing review. I put him there at the top. This places him up there with the very best of modern fantasy authors, self plug. But I put him right there at the top of the back of the book. So I wanted to shout him out because I do think he was the one that put you on to Mercy. I think I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember. A lot of last year was a blur, especially come the summertime, because that was
I
when
get
I
it.
was quitting my real life job, and
Mhm.
there was a lot of other random stuff going
Sure.
on.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't him, he was definitely one of the people that was talking about it. That was like, solidified it as an option.
Okay.
So-
Got it. But that's really cool, by the way. Congratulations. I think that's awesome. Working for Christopher is going to be, I'm sure, a bit of a dream. Hopefully, I'm sure maybe.
Well, I've done plenty of work up to this point, so
Yeah.
it'll be, getting to work on stuff related to the new material, and then of course continuing on special editions for Sun Eater. So fun enough.
That is so epic. Wow. Okay, I think actually, you're also a big Gene Wolfe fan, yeah? Or am I wrong?
I have not read Gene
You've
Wolfe.
not read Gene Wolfe.
Long Sun Mount
that's wrong.
Rubius is a very big Gene Wolfe fan. But
Go figure.
No, I Wolfe is one of those people who I need to read, especially now that I'm going to be working for Akio.
Oh yeah,
I'll for sure need to.
I'm surprised that wasn't like a part of the application process.
Well, if I hadn't read Lord of the Rings, I surely would have been booted to the curb. But no, I have read that at least. In fact, no, Christopher actually asked that because I was working his booth with him at Dragon Steel Nexus last few months ago, I guess, and he had to like ask and make sure that I had actually read Lord of the Rings. So I was like, yes, we actually talked about this in Mike's server before I was even in the Red Company. So
oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Because he has like kicked out people. Like when he used to work at Baen, he used to like get after authors who like hadn't actually read Tolkien yet.
Oh,
it was just like, you have no right to be trying to work in this space if you haven't read Tolkien. So read Lord of the Rings and then we'll talk type of thing. So
that's so epic.
So I have not gotten that treatment because I have read Tolkien and I will be rereading him this year. So
okay,
I'm safe. I hope.
You won't be. Yeah, you at least won't be fired for that.
True.
That we know. That
I might be fired
for
for something else, but
exactly.
I'm safe on the Tolkien front.
Yeah. That's so funny. All right. I'm actually we're hitting the 2-hour mark here, and Jake, I think you've been here from the beginning, and I like
you the most.
Yeah, I mean, literally, everybody.
Best friend.
Just don't forget that. You went to the ICFA conference. Let's touch on this really quickly because you were surrounded by some fiction greats as you were there. Can you speak a little bit to that experience about, I guess specifically, and Casey also, I think you can have this experience as well. I've Seth or if Alex, you guys have had this experience, please feel free to hop in anyway. But being sort of immersed in that environment, being around other readers who love the same thing, that I think everybody here can speak to. But specifically, Jenny Wirtz, Stephen Donaldson, being around a Critical Dragon in person. Can you speak to that experience? Maybe share some wisdom, pass on, maybe knowledge transfer, some things that we can all steal from you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some good wisdom to pass on. I think it's weird. It's like it's like passive in a sense. Like I wasn't like peppering them with questions necessarily, right? But it's just someone will. AP can rant about anything. If anyone's seen his channel, you'll know that. And so someone will throw out some random thing, and he'll be like, "All right, and he'll go on like a half an hour about why whatever story is actually good or why it's actually bad or whatever." And you pick up so many little things when he does that. It's just like, oh, that's why this thing doesn't work for people or whatever, right? And it's like some little, all of his years of work with developmental editing, like some little nugget will come out and it's like, oh, that's cool. I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head, but
I put you on the spot a little bit.
If one comes, I'll throw it out there. But then it's the same thing with like Janny or like Janny let me read part of the draft for what she's working on right now. And it's like, she's like, I got something that'll blow your mind. And I was like, what? She's like, here. And I'm like, wow, you're right. And you just see like their process and how she'll type it all out and then she'll print out physical copies and go through with a pen to do a passive editing. And then she'll make those edits and then she'll print it out again. And then she'll go backwards page by page and go through editing like that. And then like she has this process. So you can see like how meticulous it is. And one, you get a better appreciation for the books. I don't know about you, Alex. I don't know if you finished the series or if you're at least really close, but like
he's done.
How many typos have you seen in a Light and Shadow book? Like 0? Like
0.
It's unbelievable.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I seethe with envy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That must have been an experience.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But and like Donaldson's a similar. Like I didn't get to read anything from him that he's working on, obviously, but he is still writing, by the way.
Epic.
But it's just like these people who have been doing it for decades and decades, and there's just so much like everything that they said. I was just like, just take it in. Don't question it. Just take it, right, and just let it kind of sit there in your brain. Because as you said, like it is something that I do want to get to at some point once I have the time, and like just everything they've gone through with publishing, and like Jani's got a million stories about how she's had to fight for her series in so many different ways, and like you just see what people can do when they like don't give up, right?
Yeah.
I think those are some of the lessons that I got from that too, is just the perseverance of like what it actually takes to do this as a full-time career, when especially before social media. And like you just had to go to all these conferences and meet people, get your name out that way. And you know, like Donaldson met the guy who, like Lester Del Rey, like he just knew the guy. Like now it's Del Rey Books, right? We all know Del Rey Books, but he knows the people. And
Yeah.
just crazy stories like that you just see what people did to get out there and be successful. And it's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Man.
Cool environment.
I can speak to that kind of thing a little bit just because of the time that I've spent with Christopher Rocchio and Dave Butler and a couple other related folks, Larry Correa a little bit, you know, just a handful of people. But yeah, most of what I know of off the top of my head comes from like the Baen specific sphere, which is such an interesting publishing house. So, you know, yeah, there are a bunch of stories that I'm not allowed to repeat from just interacting with these people. But yeah, I can definitely speak to like kind of the background influence of stuff, and also, you know, learning implicitly some things about the publishing industry just based off of the information that like Christopher has from having worked in publishing and not even just being an author. You know, things like part of the reason that TradPub ebooks tend to be so expensive is because ebooks on a server is very cheap, whereas warehouse space is very not cheap. So it's partially an implicit encouragement for people to buy physical books instead of the ebook if you're paying the same price, basically. So that was a little nugget of information I got a year and a half ago that was like, oh, I never would have thought of that, but that's part of the motivation, apparently. So just like little things you learn here and there is one of the fun parts of interacting with people who've actually been in the industry. But of course, I've never interacted directly with anybody like Jani Wirtz or anything like that.
It's
not yet, anyway.
Yeah, that can always happen, man. Like this comment is crazy.
Hey, I know Philip Chase, and Philip, you know,
Yeah.
interacts with Jani, literally doing live streams about Sun Eater actively on his channel. So like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This comment is insane to think somebody of her caliber had. Yeah. But it's
and
the case.
still is fighting.
Still
Like,
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the audiobooks,
It's-
right?
Get the audiobooks, to get reprints. Like they will not reprint the hardcovers. Like there's just so many. She's gotten like the publishers will like literally put her in this weird, or have in the past, put her in like this weird, I don't know how to describe it, like some way that they like categorize their authors that they work with to basically like get it out of the way so they don't have to deal with her. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like this is like one of the greatest things ever written, and you have no idea because they haven't read the books, right? And so there's just so much crazy stuff that like it makes me appreciate it even more. That like it took her 30 years to write this series. Like it's genuinely a masterpiece, and for people at the publishing companies to not know what they had is mind blowing. Like this should have so much money.
I actually know somebody who has worked with Jani to make personalized editions of a couple of the books that didn't get matching editions. For an example, so like that's another one of those crazy things. Also, the fact that Jani is also like the upper echelon of artist who also did all of her original hardcover artwork as well is another thing that's like, you know, makes one jealous.
They do the cover design also, like
to have that kind of talent to do
crazy.
all of it is like wow. You can tell. Yeah, I need to get to that series someday. Trademark.
Oh, you'll love it, man.
Phenomenal.
I saw on TikTok the other day that there was an author who had taken years to get their book published. They finally got it like ready to publish, and then the publisher was like, "No, we don't like this story, so we're choosing just not to publish it." And then that author had to like fight to buy their rights back so that they could just publish their final book in the series that they've been working on. It's like crazy
sometimes
the
happens.
stuff that you have to go through it sometimes in the traditional space.
Was that-
Similarly, there are also occasions where it just isn't monetarily feasible for certain publishers to actually make do on their promises.
Yep.
And so they just can't because they can't afford to, or say they can't, but in many cases they just can't afford to. And so the authors have to buy the rights back, or, authors will get frustrated with the state of their own series and try to buy their own rights back. I know somebody who's trying to do that with something, but I can't say any more right now about that. But,
Yeah.
publishing industry traditionally
It's a
seems to be
business, so you
full of a lot
gotta
of
deal with all
Yeah.
of the nonsense sometimes.
industry is in the term after all.
I know that JV Jones, I haven't read her series yet, but I saw that I think she had to fight for like a decade to get her rights back, and like yesterday or the day before recently announced that she got her rights back. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like,
I think that's the one. Yeah, I think that's the one.
yeah,
I
that's
saw.
who I'm thinking. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
insane. That happens in film, TV a lot. You have a lot of things that get optioned that never get made, and a lot of times studios, I think, try to kill projects by buying them, by spending money on them.
Well, you see this also in most spaces, actually, like video games, for example. IP buyouts, just so that nobody else can do anything with the IP, is
You're
stuff
right.
that happens at times. Yeah, it's not uncommon for these kinds of issues to crop up.
That's just so insane to me. Like, you just have
Anti-consumer practices.
Yeah. It's like you have all these beautiful stories that are told, and people don't want to tell them.
I know, like, why does Janny Wirtz have to fight to publish a nautical fantasy book? I'm sorry, like the moment, when she like talked about it on Jake's live stream, I was like, I need this book right now. Give it to me right now. I don't care who
Yep.
publish it, self-publish it, make it I don't care who.
Yep.
I need it.
It's still been out there on. No one's picked it up yet. It's been like a year and a half. And I'm
Wow.
like, that's what I said.
Like, I mean, Jake, you understand? This woman is like the most brilliant author out there. Like,
Yeah.
she has written one of my favorite works of all time, life-changing stuff, and they don't pick her up. How do you even think that? Like, it's like, imagine Stephen King came up to you and said, "Hey, I want you to publish my book. Do you deny Stephen King?" No, you do not deny Stephen King.
Jenny's in that echelon of talent for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Maybe
she just
above.
doesn't have the name recognition,
Yeah,
right? Like
exactly.
the publish, like it's about money at the end of the day. So like I get it.
I get it. I don't like
Yeah.
It's frustrating, but it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Publishing is definitely, I think, like I can only really speak to the indie publishing journey, and of course it's like there's also like there's pluses and minuses to everything. Like, you have control over your story. That's great. I think the access and like getting things out there is always like one of those things that comes up inside of conversation. And the amount of both trad and indie published authors have to do a ton of work to promote their stories, with the exception, obviously, of things that just promote themselves. And like, nobody really has a formula for that. Everybody just sort of thinks they do, and that's what they're looking for, is that thing. But at the end of the day, there's still a ton of work that goes into all of it. And I actually do think that might be a good note to close out on. As we are on release day for Ills of Fate, I am realizing that I haven't eaten, and I have had Uber Eats sitting outside of my door for probably 2 hours. But that's okay. Like I definitely need to eat. So that's really more of why I want to close it out. I have these chocolate covered pretzels here, and so I think I might take a bite of one of these before dinner, because I'm an adult and it's a celebration day. I had a beer. I'm gonna have a pretzel. and that's it. Really, really good. Wow.
The true American diet.
Exactly. I am super grateful to all of you guys who came here for the stream, everybody who was here before. I being that it's a weekday, I think I'm a little bit more inclined, because I have to work tomorrow, to hop off here. Are there any closing thoughts? We can go around. Jake, please lead the way, and we'll start going in a circle, and then we'll close out as I eat my pretzel.
Don't die over there, man.
I'm fine.
That'd be rather embarrassing.
It would.
My books would
And awkward.
sell 1 million copies if I
It's
died
true.
on stream eating a pretzel.
Author
It would
dies
be a
live
really
on
ill
stream.
fate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boo. Where's my
Yeah.
tomato?
Closing thoughts. I don't know, man. Thank you for having all of us here. This has been fun to hang out. It's awesome to see what a great response that you've gotten from book one, and the early reviews and everything that's come out for book two. And it's well deserved. You work super, super hard. You're just a good dude, and you've put out a really good piece of work here. So it's awesome to see. And I'm excited to get into book two here very soon. As soon as I finish up PL's book, I'm jumping into it. So it should
Heck
be
yeah.
a couple days. So
Thank you. Alex, you're up.
I
Not the
mean,
country.
first off, thank you for inviting me and all of us. It's been a blast to get to meet Seth. And I think I already met you, King Crusoe. Is that right? Did I say
Probably the
that right?
initial,
Crusoe.
the Tears of the Fallen launch stream.
Getting to meet Laura, and actually I watched a lot of Laura's Love Bomb video live streams a long time ago, and getting to meet Devin was such a good time. So thank you for that. And also thank you so much for giving me a copy of this. Actually, ignore the electric pump that you just saw. Thank you, because this is just such a fantastic book. I'm enjoying it so much. I know I've already told you this, but I mean, I pick up the book and I'm able to just like sit down for as long as my bad attention span will allow me, which is like 50 pages max, and
Rock and roll.
just immerse myself. It's such a good time with just the world. I got to the second illustration, the second splash illustration, so you know which one that is. And I mean, you are doing such a great job with it, and it's like I want to know what happens next. I'm so invested in the fates of these characters. I'm having such a great time, and getting to talk about you getting to have your book out there, and so many people need to read this series, in my opinion, because it's just so good. It's so much fun. There's so many themes that I love, and I was going to say a spoiler, but I'm not going to say it quite yet.
Yeah, please don't.
But it's just
For the posers in chat,
so
definitely
good.
not me.
And thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Mr. Seth, or Indie Fantasy Club.
Yeah, so obviously I am going to be an advocate for indie fantasy, self-publishing, and one of the things that I love from self-published authors is the passion and drive that comes across with their stories, because these authors are the ones driving forward the story that they love so much, and doing the investments and the work and all the effort to bring these things to life. And I think Chance is just an exceptional example of that, where he has invested his time and also his money to make sure he has a high quality book that's been well edited, that's been well structured, that has just incredible elements to it. So in addition to just a great idea and story, he has put in the work to make sure that it's really refined, so that you can't tell the difference between a traditional published book and this as an indie published book. So I just want to shout out that it is a high quality caliber story, in all aspects, formatting, story, just everything. And that's for Tears of the Fallen. And I'm sure it's also reflected in Ill is the Fate, which is what we're talking about today. And I'm really excited to dive into book 2 and to see where the world takes us. So Really appreciate that I have been exposed to this world and that you introduced me to it with your passion, and I look forward to continuing.
Grateful. All right, KC,
Well,
send it.
theoretically, this will be pretty simple closing thoughts since I haven't actually read the books yet.
The best for last.
But I did recently do my first one-on-one recorded feature on somebody else's channel recently. That was on iSamwise, and he further solidified to me that he's 99% confident that I'll be a big fan. So
Okay.
I'm excited to get to it. I was thinking I would get to Tears of the Fallen like early in the year, but then things fell through timing wise. So not sure when it'll happen soon-ish. But speaking from, a little bit more on the back end side of things as an aspiring author myself, there's a lot to be encouraged by Chance's path here that makes me excited on that front, just because, there are a lot of people who write books, but then the amount of people who write books and self-publish and actually do such a quality job even promoting them the way that Chance does is actually very rare. So big props to you on that. And that also has me excited to read the books. But yeah, eventually here soon.
Yeah, whenever it happens, man. And actually, it's funny because the working title of your story may or may not not the title itself, but the act of that title may exist somewhere in the story of of book 2. I'll just say that. I'll just say that because if I think the series is still named what I think it is.
You talking about the first trilogy series name?
I believe so.
Or the entire overarching.
I think the
series
overarching series name. If it has an A word in it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. So then there's a little bit of that Alex is about to bump into. I won't say what it is because I don't want to spoil it. But
well, Beans, he will or you are stealing my idea implicitly. How dare?
No, I mean you'll see when you read it.
Rocky a thing to do, Chance. Come on.
In 25 years, I will have published any of my books, and I can say he plagiarized me. Actually,
exactly.
Through osmosis,
just like Christopher plagiarized Pierce Brown.
Right. Anyways, I am super grateful to all of you. Jakes, thanks for sticking here from the very beginning. And literally Alex as well, like the very beginning of the BookTube journey that we had taken. And of course, KC and IFC, like you got your guys' channels I had come across. And so it's really cool to sit here in conversation with you. And I'm super grateful that you guys took time out of your day to come and sit and chat. Especially on my release day. Just super grateful. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in, who's watching this on replay, has watched this on replay. Thank you all. And I'm going to go enjoy some grub on my celebration of my release.
Woohoo! Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, everybody. Thank you.
Take care.
I'll end it. That'll be that.